Thick fog shrouded the area when a small plane hit a power line and crashed in a San Diego neighborhood yesterday. 3 of the 6 people on the aircraft confirmed dead. The crash set off a huge fire. It charred homes and vehicles, but no one on the ground was hurt. It is one of the tweaks that House lawmakers made to President Trump's spending and tax cut bill before approving it.
Under the updated version, any energy projects that begin producing electricity after 2028 will not be eligible for the climate-friendly credit. Projects also need to start construction within 60 days of the bill's enactment. However, a carve-out is added for nuclear power, which will only need to begin construction rather than begin producing electricity by the end of 2028 to receive the tax credit. Republicans have also stripped a controversial provision added during the amendment process that would have allowed the sale of certain public lands in Utah and Nevada. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
On Wall Street, ahead of this morning's opening bell, the Dow futures are down 501 points. NASDAQ futures off 372. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
The Trump team's public health agenda is taking shape.
The Trump administration has released their much-anticipated Make America Healthy Again report, calling for increased scrutiny of the childhood vaccine schedule, a review of pesticides sprayed on American crops, and includes a description of the nation's children as overmedicated and undernourished. President Donald Trump says,
"We're demanding the answers. The public is demanding the answers."
Critics say that the report is filled with fear-based rather than science-based information. While the report does not have the force of a law or official policy, it will be used over the next 3 months for the commission to fashion a plan that can be implemented. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
China says the Trump administration's move to ban international students from Harvard University would harm America's international standing. Harvard is accused of fostering an unsafe campus environment. News and analysis, townhall.com. Media Matters, subject of a federal investigation.
The Federal Trade Commission launched the inquiry into alleged coordination of Media Matters and other leftist groups and boycotts of Elon Musk's X social media platform. The FTC is seeking all documents that Media Matters has produced or received as part of the ongoing lawsuit launched by Musk in 2023, which alleges that it attempted to damage the site's relationship with advertisers. These documents include Media Matters communication with other leftist groups, like a World Federation of Advertisers initiative called Global Alliance for Responsible Media. Tasha Stevens reporting.
On the roads, in the air, and by rail, tens of millions of Americans heading out for the long Memorial Day holiday weekend. AAA predicts record travel this year, with more than 45 million people venturing at least 50 miles from home, and most of them going by car. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcast
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody. Memorial Day weekend Friday.
That's right. You get extra long bill for an extra long weekend.
Yeah, 3-day weekend for many. Mm-hmm. Graduation weekend continues as University High had their students walk the stage last night. Roswell tonight, Goddard tomorrow night. Busy weekend.
Excuse me. I questioned yesterday whether maybe I'm a bit of a callous soul.
Yeah?
Well, and okay, now in fairness, I'm also a guy. I am still a guy. Okay, I'm making eye contact with the camera. I am still a dude. Okay.
I'm a dude.
But that being said, I didn't get I was sitting next to Carletta yesterday at my son's graduation from kindergarten. Okay,
yeah,
from kindergarten.
Right?
And she's a mess. She's sobbing, tears streaming down her. And I understand. I get it from a mom's perspective.
Sure.
My baby boy's growing up.
Right.
But I'm like, you're going to have to do this in 4 more years, right? When he graduates from elementary school.
And then, did they do a middle school graduation?
Yeah,
too?
well, I don't know if they do a middle school. I think they give the middle schoolers. Because, and here's the thing, middle schoolers are so I don't know what the word is, but middle schoolers are so into themselves and what's happening right now.
Yeah.
They could care less about a middle school graduation.
All right.
The emotions get worked back in high school. Middle school, it's all about, okay, who am I? What's my look going to be?
I ain't gonna lie. My 8th grade, I was kind of a little nervous because you're going to the big school next year, and you're like, I don't know, man. I'm going to be the little fish in the big pond now.
It does feel that way, yeah, because you were the big kid on campus. Although for me it was different.
Yeah.
So in my 7th grade year, I was a bit of an angry soul. I had a lot of anger issues, and I ended up getting kicked out of school in 7th grade.
Wow, what'd you do?
So there was this young lady I fancied at the time.
Okay.
And she had a last name that was make-funnable, was mockable.
Okay.
And this kid named Evan, if I remember correctly, made fun of her name.
Okay.
Her last name was Woodman.
Insert your own jokes there.
Proceeded to spear him into a bookcase.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're defending your lady.
She wasn't even my lady.
You're in your head. She was
the
your
one
lady.
I liked. the one I fancied.
In your head, she was your lady.
Yeah, the school frowns upon that.
Yeah,
and so yeah, I got booted. That was sort of the final nail in the. I mean, there were other things.
Did you try to explain you're defending her honor?
No, there was no point at that point.
I would have. You never know. Might have got you an in.
Yeah. So I took the L. Again, that was the last of a series. There was another incident that I don't think was necessarily my fault. I'm going to blame this on the structure of the school.
Yeah.
So the school that I went to in Rio Rancho, I was in band, and I got upset about something.
Yeah.
And had a bit of a meltdown, whatever we want to call it, and I was asked to leave the band class. So I packed my instrument up. Now the band hall at this school had 2 sets of double doors, one on the inside, one on the outside. And the one on the inside had windows, the one on the outside did not. So I pushed open the first set of doors, and then I pushed open the second set of doors into a young lady's nose. Ooh. And yeah, that I think it broke in 3 places. I don't know exactly, but the point of all that is I didn't get to enjoy my 7th grade year, and I had to come back. When I came back in 8th grade, I had to go through a bunch of counseling groups to get back into school. So middle school was a little different for me.
I must say, you sound like you're a little rowdy kid.
I got better.
Although, back to the first incident.
Uh-huh.
See, that's where you should have had the boom box with the Karate Kid 2 Chicago, or I don't know, was it Chicago or Satara? I don't know what it was.
It was definitely Chicago. Yeah.
I don't know if it was the solo actor was Chicago, but yeah, the fight for her honor, I'll be your hero. true. You've been dreaming of.
That's one of my favorite scenes, and I think it's the show Yes Dear, is where Mike O'Malley it's a young him young, and they start playing that song over and over again as he's trying to fight Christopher Titus, and he goes to throw a punch, and he just gets the crap knocked out of him, and he does it like 5 times every time. I am a man. Yeah.
Yes, there's a deep drop cut.
That was deep.
What was that on one maybe 2 seasons?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so that was rough. I ended up going to work with my mom for that year at the nursing home.
Nice.
So
did you learn a lot about nursing home life and reading stories to seniors?
Made a few friends.
Yeah, nice.
A few friends who what's really fun about working in a nursing home is some of the people that you meet, you get to meet them again the next day.
Now you're getting me thinking of 50 First Dates and 10-second Tom.
10-second Tom, exactly.
Hi, I'm Tom.
So yeah, but for everybody else, I mean, I'm sure which I understand that Rihanna is my punishment for my ways. She's the karma.
Well, but yes. Well, just wait till what started this whole conversation. Wait till high school graduation.
Mm-hmm.
I think your baby mama's mad or emotional now. Wait till
I know.
wait till that one.
I even mentioned, I was like, he's gonna go back home, right? He's coming back home to you.
Of course, by that time they'd be like, might be tears of joy, as in we're finally getting him out the nest.
Right. Which, by the way, I have to smack myself on the wrist. I didn't wish a happy birthday yesterday to my triplets, niece and nephews.
Oh.
Maya, Camden, and Jacob turned 18 yesterday.
Nice.
Yep. So
can you imagine having 3 at once doing that?
No, I can't. We spent the first year trying to help my sister get through the first year of that.
I got to take
it was a mess.
Aren't usually twins and triplets usually kind of like they're attached at the hip usually, right? Like
they're
very
pretty close, yeah.
and very. It's like 3 brains sharing one, got 3 bodies sharing one brain kind of thing in it sometimes.
It is. Now, in fairness, they've sort of all kind of branched off and found their own.
They are in their individual modes.
Right, but that's just, they're teenagers. They'll come back around.
Right.
And
they don't wear the same clothing or nothing, do
No, they're not identical.
Do they try not to look alike now, or are they identical?
No, they're not identical.
Oh, okay.
No,
I should have asked that from the beginning.
No, they, in fact, they all look wildly different, which is crazy. So we think that they've just each taken parts of my sister and parts of my brother-in-law Tommy, and just kind of melded the two.
I had a friends growing up in when I was a kid, in the neighborhood, and they were twins, but they were boy and girl, not identical twins,
right.
But they did look alike, and they acted very similar, and even though they were looked different, I mean they look like brother and sister. They didn't look like twins, I guess you could say, but they were the exact same age. Matter of fact, the boy Dan was like our class president in high school, and I didn't. That's how I got my parking space for the teacher's side, because Dan was class president, and the trade was I had to take his sister Crystal to work or to school every day. So she rode. It was my boys and Crystal. We all rode to school every day.
Nice.
She always got dibs on the front seat because she was a girl. Yeah. But anyway,
it's the proper way to do things.
Yes, but that was fun years. But it is Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
Of course, matter of fact, with Memorial Day Monday, there's several Memorial Day ceremonies going down South Park Cemetery, Memory Lawn Cemetery. Matter of fact, we'll have the Chaves County veterans join us in the 8 o'clock hour today, talk about their Memorial Day events and ceremonies and things going on there. Matter of fact, let me give you the rundown while we're talking rundown.
There you go.
Yesterday we had all but one of the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico's scholarship recipients join us. And so we had a chance to interview them yesterday. So we're going to play that interview for you this morning. We had 7 of them. That was a fun conversation.
I was walking down the stairs as they were coming up the stairs.
Yeah.
And we met at the landing. I was like, hello, how you doing? Excuse me, pardon me, howdy. Merry Christmas.
Good thing we're all coaches. Coach.
Doctor, and doctor.
Yeah. But so we had a great conversation, and we'll play that for you here in just a few minutes. As I mentioned just right before that, the folks from the Chaves County Veterans will join us. James Edwards and Jeremy, I believe, will join us and talk about what they've got planned for Memorial Day. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview we had last week with Rocio Ortiz from the Roswell Public Library, talking about summer reading program, which kicks off next week.
I believe
27th, I believe, is the date there. So here in a couple days. Yeah. So we'll play that interview for you here with her in the 9 o'clock hour.
Very good.
Plus, we'll have all of your newses, the local, national variety, Wall Street business updates, all that good stuff. And then, programming note, no show on Monday because of the Memorial Day holiday. We will have our CBS Memorial Day special that will play in its place. Sean will be in the chair Tuesday because I got a doctor's appointment in Lubbock on Tuesday. So I'll be there, and then I'll be back in the chair on Wednesday of next week. Here,
Yes, sir. That's right, Maggie.
Very good. All right, we done all that. Let's get you up to date on the weather. Spoiler alert, it'll be hot.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're hitting the upper 90s with sunny skies today. Overnight, a few clouds and low 60s, and then right around 100 and a little bit breezy and sunny on Saturday. Another hot day coming up on Sunday will be in the upper 90s with sunshine and then a slim chance of a shower or thunderstorm Memorial Day afternoon. We will have sunny skies, a little bit cooler, mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 66 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 28%. Winds currently out of the west at 3 miles per hour. Sunny today and hot, highs near the century mark, 99 officially according to the National Weather Service. Southwest winds 5 to 10 this morning, shifting to the southwest 10 to 15 miles per hour for later today. Tonight, mostly clear skies, overnight low of 62 degrees. South winds 5 to 15, so should be good for graduation tonight, although hydrate up, could be a little warm. For you Saturday, another sunny and hot one with highs right at the century mark, 100 on Saturday. Northwest winds 5 to 10 early, shifting to the south 10 to 15 for Saturday afternoon. Saturday night, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 61 degrees. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly sunny for Sunday, 95 for a high there. Winds will be out of the west at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday night, partly cloudy, overnight low 59 degrees. And then Memorial Day, they're giving us a 20% chance of showers for the afternoon. Sunny, little cooler, highs near 90. So 89-ish, somewhere around there, give or take. Partly cloudy Monday night, overnight low of 60. And then looking, just kind of glancing at the rest of the week, we're looking at rain chances pretty much all next week. Tuesday, a 20% chance of rain with a high of 89. Wednesday, a 40% chance of rain, mostly cloudy and 83. And Thursday, a 30% chance of rain, partly cloudy and 85. So, and then rain chances at night too. So we'll see, but maybe, just maybe, we'll get some good moisture next week. All right, it is closing in on 7:20. Let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break, and then on the other side of the break, we'll play our interview we had with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico Scholarship winners, and that's coming up on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody.
Hey Roswell, whatever you've got planned this week, cancel it, cause Roswell Ford is slashing prices during our biggest Memorial Day savings event ever. These are the final days to get massive discounts with employee pricing for all. At Roswell Ford, you pay what we pay on our huge inventory of new Fords. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. Upside down in your current car, truck, or SUV and one out early, Roswell Ford can help you get out of your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. So you pay what we pay today with employee pricing to all customers on new Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Our aggressive lenders will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. With massive American-made savings, employee pricing for all, and more for your trade. We'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. Get on board at Roswell Ford. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinance to new loan. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
When managing a chronic illness, access to the right treatments makes all the difference. Artesia General Hospital's Infusion Center provides IV therapy and biologic treatments, so you don't have to travel far for care. expert infusion therapy right here in Artesia. Call 575-736-8256 today to learn more.
Picture this. You're behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor. You're effortlessly breaking ground, moving piles of rocks just by moving a lever, and enjoying the sun as you clear brush across your pasture. We could keep trying to put you in the moment, but to really understand what this feels like, you just have to get in the seat.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
Hey, Mark.
Morning, Sam.
Having the house remodeled?
Nah, I got termites, and they're chewing the place up.
Welcome to the neighborhood. I've got them too.
Really?
Yeah, just had a termite treatment put in.
You did? I didn't see a lot of digging around your house.
That's because I went with the Centricon termite colony elimination system. It's a lot easier to install than what you're doing. They just place bait stations around the house, and then the termites share the bait with each other until the colony is gone. No digging, no chemical solution, just simple protection that's environmentally responsible.
Wow.
Yeah, I even got a green chemistry award from the EPA.
Centricon, huh? I'll be right back.
Hey, where you going?
Tell these guys to stop digging. I'm getting Centricon.
Call Bob Reed Pest Control today for all of Southeast New Mexico. 575-623-5344.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And welcome back to the morning show. And joining us in studio this morning, a bevy of people. This morning we have I think all of the recipients, all but one of the recipients for the 2025 Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico scholarship recipients. I'm going to allow everyone to kind of go around the room. We'll start this end and just kind of say your name, say where you attend school at, and say which scholarship you were awarded. Okay?
My name's Neilani Kobos. I just graduated from Dexter High School, and I got awarded the STEM scholarship.
Nice. Congratulations. You're hiding, but I can see you.
Okay. My name is Esmeralda Meraz Ortiz. I am going to graduate from Early College High School, and I received the character scholarship.
Nice. So are you getting your college associates and high school here all at the same time? Nice. Nice. Very good. All right. Come on up, sir.
Hi there. I'm Jacob Hardwick. I'm graduating from Roswell High this Friday, and I'm receiving the Science and Arts Scholarship.
Yeah, and sometimes you find them buried in the archives facility. Pile
Sometimes.
of papers around them, dust, all kind of stuff in there. So, very good. Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Trent White. I just graduated from Dexter High School, and I received the Arts and Humanities Scholarship for a double major in History and Government.
Nice. Congratulations. Yes, sir.
My name is Gabriel Anaya. I am graduating from Roswell High this Friday, and I got the character scholarship.
Very good. Ladies, we'll get you the back here.
My name is Ava Rowe. I am going to be a junior at NMSU, New Mexico State, and I received the Continuing Education Scholarship.
Excellent. Excellent. And finally.
Hello, my name is Talissa Espinosa. I will be attending again for the 4th year because I did just graduate with my associates.
Yeah.
And I'll be applying to the nursing program this semester.
Very good.
now, I guess. And I got the continuing college scholarship.
Very good. What high school did you go to before going to MSU?
I graduated from Goddard High School.
Very good. So you're a Roswell person as well here. Good deal. Well, for folks not familiar, just to kind of give the background, for the last several months now, the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico has, as they do every year, their annual scholarships, thanks to the Troy Hayes Trust and other folks as well. And each of these folks get anywhere about $1,250 per scholarship. They're in the different categories, as they have mentioned. Some for STEM, some for art and humanities, some because they're characters, and and so forth and so on. So I got to ask, first off, how did you guys come across this scholarship? Is it just kind of, you can just shout them out, the different ones you did? Yeah, you know, and you work at the Historical Society, so I think you had inside knowledge on that this one happened here. But for the rest of you, how did you just find it online, or people at school told you about it? How'd that work?
I've been volunteering with the historical program since
you had
I
inside
was in
games, so.
7th grade.
Nice.
7th grade, so I've been with you guys for a while.
Yeah, been longer than some people at the Historical Society. Anybody else? How'd you get in school, or?
I was told by my counselor and my grandma actually told me.
Very good. Good deal.
I was told by a teacher that I've talked to a lot and everything. He originally told me about the opportunity, and then one of the people running the Historical Society came to our school and told us more about it as well,
Gotcha.
which made me take initiative and finally apply for it.
Nice. So I kind of curious, because going through the process, because you'd have to fill out an essay, there is some work you have to do to receive this scholarship. How was that experience? I kind of, when you're writing your papers, I imagine you're kind of in a factory of that right now, because I'm sure there's other scholarships you guys apply for, and so you're cranking out essays and things left and right. But with this one, you had to. Was it easy to go, or did you have to sit and put some thought for it? I imagine we'll get the gamut. Some it'll be probably smooth as butter, and others it was a little rough. Anybody have a rough time, or had a little trouble getting their subject together and stuff doing this?
It was more procrastination.
Gotcha. You knew what you wanted to say, you just didn't want to sit down and
yes,
put
exactly.
finger to keyboard, I guess. Very good. Anybody else?
I feel like it was fairly easy for my prompt. I mean, I don't know how everyone else's prompt was, but
Sure.
mine was very personal and close to the heart.
Sure.
So, like, once I got started, it was fairly easy.
It's like once you open the floodgates,
Oh, yeah.
it was
and,
just.
and these gates started flooding.
But I would imagine, too, it's, because you guys, all of you are young, and you've got your whole lives ahead of you. But at the same time, you guys don't look at it that way. You're like, no, I've been here 17, 18 years now, and, I got some experience under my world. Looking back now at this point and going through the essays and stuff, what, when you were, I don't know, say in elementary school, do you envision yourselves here now? Or did you think something else? No?
I have no idea what I thought in elementary school.
I think most of us, guys, I want to be a firefighter, an
Yeah.
astronaut, teacher, something like that. But, I mean, what about, you were shaking your head. What, I'm curious, what...
I thought I was going to be touring with Metallica by now.
Well, they're still around. You could do that. Anybody else?
I feel like, in a way, I know where I'm supposed
I was
to
about to say, you, just from my time talking to you and stuff, I feel like you have a plan from the jump. Like, everything you do is calculated.
Yes, I'm a very driven person. So once I have my one little goal, I'm not stopping until I get there.
Gotcha. So let's talk end games. What's after all said and done? What do you want to be when you grow up? We'll start on this. What's your goals? What do you would like to do from here?
Well, I plan to major in animal science at NMSU and then continue on to get into vet school and become a veterinarian.
Nice. Now, do you want to work with livestock and stuff, or you're like cats and dogs and fish and whatnot?
I would say more small animal,
Okay.
And then maybe do equine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure there are going to be some people who need horse work around here, because you got to put your parts in their parts, and you got to be a trained professional for that. For you, what's your goals? What's your aspirations here for this?
So after I graduate from early college, I already applied to Portales, and I'm gonna go into pre-med for biology.
Okay.
And go into medical school.
Okay. Do you have a specific form of medicine you're hoping to study?
So I want to become a hematologist.
Okay.
So it's like a doctor, but for blood.
Yeah, it's like you do with
specifically.
blood and stuff.
Yes.
You don't get
And
squeamish when you see blood?
No,
I do.
actually, I was wanting to become a surgeon before that.
Ah.
So
But you don't like golf, right?
no.
I think that's like a rule, right? If you're a surgeon, you got to like golf. Isn't that a rule?
No, I don't like golf, but I did wrestling, so that was
Okay.
something.
Which you might have saw blood from time to time, depending on how good the wrestlers
Plenty
are.
of times. Plenty.
Very good. Well, that might come into play when you need a bedside manner for patients. Some of them wrestling skills, just depending on your patient there.
Yes.
Very good. All right. Yeah, come on up, and tell us what you want to do next.
I'm going to NMSU. I'm gonna major in digital filmmaking. Gonna get a
Awesome.
minor in creative writing.
Okay.
Hopefully write for big film, big TV for
Okay.
a while. Direct my own movie.
I was
and-
about to say, if you're getting into filmmaking, eventually you want to get a camera in the room besides a pen, I guess.
yeah. And then after I'm, I think after I direct a few movies, maybe a TV show.
Okay.
I think I'll go back to a university and teach others how to do that.
Nice, and go be a Professor O film or something like that. Very good. What's real quick before he goes, genre movies, like what's like horror, like what's your creamy, what do you like?
Horror, comedy, suspense, action.
All the above.
All of the above.
Or make that movie with all of the above.
Yeah, that's gonna be a one-off movie. I can
Saw
tell you
movie,
that.
Jim Carrey. Put Saw in a Jim Carrey movie, or Jim Carrey in a Saw movie, and I think you got it hit. So very good. Sorry, you're up.
You're good. I'm going to double major at NMSU in government and history, like I said earlier. Afterwards, I'm hoping to probably do a master's in a more specific field, like civic government, or public administration, or something like that, and then either get involved in the government, either New Mexico or city of Roswell or other places, or even get involved in teaching, either at a college level or high school level.
So as far as government, do you like elected official type of government, or like the guy that runs the office in the in the back there that we never hear about?
Either or.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, very good. Or I gotta ask, do you like to speak? Do you like public speaking? Is that something that's you're comfortable with?
I love speaking when given the opportunity.
Politicians right up your alley. Then. Lotion your hands. Lotion up. So, very good. Your turn.
So I am going to major in either business finance or business administration at Texas Tech in Lubbock. Yeah, I don't.
Do you want to like own your own business someday, or you work for a Fortune 500 company? What are you thinking?
I haven't really made my mind up. I know I want my own clothing brand. That's
Gotcha.
for sure.
Okay, so fashion. So are you a student of fashion, like trends and what's latest and what's?
I guess you could say that.
Ladies, how's he doing? Just kidding. Well, cool, good deal. So I would imagine to get in that world, you got to hit places like New York City and Paris. And
I've been wanting to travel to New York City.
Very
for
good.
a couple of years.
Awesome. Sounds exciting. Well, good deal. Well, if we see you one day, and next thing it'll just be like just see your signature on some brand of clothing or cologne or something. We'll know. Very good. You're up next.
So I am currently studying communication disorders at NMSU.
Okay.
I am minoring in linguistics and ASL to become a speech pathologist.
Okay.
I'm hoping to either work in the medical side of it or with kids at schools.
Okay.
Just help them find their voice.
So a lot
from
of
within.
like working with kids with speech issues, things like that,
Yes,
and
sir.
doing very good.
Yes, sir.
We seem like you enunciate and pronounce and very. So I think that's a start, right?
I'd hope so. Yes.
'Cause
Very.
you kind of talk kind of mush mouth like me. It's kind of hard to teach others to talk mush.
I know. Sometimes I mumble and I'm like, wait, why am I doing that? I'm going to be helping people do that
Yeah.
later on. So
Hey, maybe we can get you to come in and read commercials to practice. And you're gonna.
sounds like a great
Now
plan.
open. Very cool. That'd be great. And finally, we've talked before, but remind folks.
So like I said, I'm applying to a couple nursing programs. I've applied to the one here in Roswell, Hobbs, and in Carlsbad. I'm also enrolling myself into a surgical tech program. That way I'll be the person, like when the surgeon says scalpel, I get to hand the scalpel and I get to help if someone bleeds out and different things like that. I feel like I've bounced around from different things. I wanted to be a phlebotomist, but then I've also wanted to go to pediatrics, but then I've also wanted to go to the ER, just so it's always go, go, go. Then I've also thought about being a nurse that's in the helicopters.
Okay.
For like intensive care.
Yeah.
But as of right now, we're just going straight RN, get my experience in there, and then I'll just see where.
I think that could work like kind of like police officers. Like you go in as a police officer, and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to go SWAT, or I'm going to go to, whatever the various things, and because I guess before you fly around in the helicopters and get in the ER, you got to be able to do the treatment. And it doesn't matter, where the location is. That's the same. So very good. But you like a little adventure in your job, it sounds like.
I do. And then I got my associates in science, and then I also minored in psychology and child development. And then along my little journey, I've gotten my CPR certification, and I was halfway through my CMA.
Wow. I think you're just going to do it I think what's going to happen is you're just going to get in there in the nursing thing, and you're going to do multiple things.
Yeah.
You're going to spend a little bit on the helicopters. You're going to spend a little bit as a traveling nurse. You're going to spend a little bit in URs. I think you're going to do all the above.
I love to experience everything.
Very good. Well, cool. Well, guys, first off, congratulations. And we are all excited as you're either graduating here in the coming days or are already just graduated here. How much time are you guys, do you get weeks, a month before you start packing off and heading to college here and going off to your next phase of life? How much time we got left here?
About 2.
About 2?
Yeah.
2 days, weeks?
2 months.
2 months. Okay, that's all right. All right. Anybody shorter than 2 months? That's about the average here. Okay. How about for you?
Like 20 minutes.
20 minutes. He's like, I'm literally leaving as soon as you shut your
I'm getting yanked around everywhere. I have meetings with my other advisors, so.
Nice. You're busy young woman, and you got appointments to be. So we'll get you out of here. But first off, congratulations. And I'm going to take a stab that at no point is Amy going to let you just disappear. You're going to come back at some point and see you and do all this stuff. And so speaking of that, Amy, we'll get you the last word here.
On behalf of the Historical Society, we just want to remind individuals that will watch or enjoy this. One of our scholarship recipients, Victor Barbosa, is already continuing his education at Notre Dame, actually. Nice. And we want to wish each and every one of you the best. Special shout out and thank you to Landmark. These amazing students will be on a billboard at 2710 North Main through June 1st.
Okay.
And they just took pictures with Troy Hayes and Jason Garcia. We just want to welcome them to the family. And you're right, I've got cell phone numbers, and we will be reminding them how much we care. So thank you.
Awesome. And, of course, Jacob, I'm sure they're going to be like, sure, you don't want to come back and just the commute from Cruces isn't far.
They have a tracker in my bag.
I know John's putting him to work down in the basement. That's what with the Dusty and the books and all that. Very good. Well, thank you for spending some time with us here. I know you got to get off to the next thing, and congratulations. And it'd be neat if maybe on Christmas breaks or something, pop in and tell us how you're doing. So good deal. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'm Jared Sorello. Some big changes to the summer meal program in Roswell and other communities. The grab-and-go style is going away, and kids will have to eat any meals served on site. RISD Superintendent Brian Luck told the school board this week the new guidelines no longer allow breakfasts and lunches to be served together or served in a way that allows the students to eat elsewhere. The new rules also require sites to set up tables and chairs to allow the kids to eat their meals on site. The RISD program will begin June 2nd and last through July 22nd. Any child age 1 to 18 is eligible even if they are not a student in the district. Also in Roswell, the city's deputy police chief has announced he will run for Chavez County Sheriff. Michael Taylor has spent the past 25 years with RPD. His entrance into the contest means there will have to be a primary election between him and current undersheriff Charles Islas. That Republican primary contest will be in June of next year. Incumbent Sheriff Mike Harrington is unable to run again because of term limits. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
You check your inbox and there it is, an email with a subject line that stops you in your tracks. We have pictures of you naked. I'm Kim Commando for Home Title Lock. Go to HometitleLock.com and use promo code Kim to receive a free 14-day trial of their $1 million triple lock protection when you sign up. The email starts with, "Hello, pervert." It claims hackers got into your email. They took over your computer, turned on your webcam. They recorded everything naughty that you did. You have to pay $1,000 in crypto, or the footage goes straight to everyone in your contact list. Your boss, your parents, your kids. You're in a total panic. Now what I want you to do is stop. Take a breath. This is a classic sextortion scam making the rounds. It's fake. They don't have a video. They're trying to scare you into paying. So don't respond. Don't click anything. Forward the email to the FTC at report@phishing.gov. Report@phishing.gov. Again, that's report@phishing.gov. Start your day with my free newsletter at getkim.com. Title theft is a growing real estate scam targeting the $32 trillion in American homeowners' equity. Criminals forge your signature on one document, use a fake notary stamp, pay a small fee, and file with your county. Then, your home's title and its equity are in the hands of a criminal. So when is the last time you checked your home title? If you're like me, the answer is never. And that's exactly what scammers are counting on. Use my promo code KIM at HomeTitleLock.com, and you'll get a free title history report to find out if your title is still in your name. When you sign up, you'll also receive a free 14-day trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's immediate 24/7 monitoring of your property, urgent alerts if there are any changes, and if fraud should happen, their U.S.-based restoration team will spend up to $1 million to fix the fraud and restore your title at no additional cost. Your satisfaction is guaranteed, and you can cancel anytime. Go to HomeTitleLock.com and use promo code KIM for the protection you deserve.
Weather this hour brought to you by Southwest Bearing under new ownership. Custom solutions for your heavy equipment, hydraulic hoses, hose repair, bearings, seals, sprockets, belts, tools, fluids, and fittings.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're hitting the upper 90s with sunny skies today. Overnight, a few clouds and low 60s, and then right around 100 and a little bit breezy and sunny on Saturday. Another hot day coming up on Sunday. Will be in the upper 90s with sunshine and then a slim chance of a shower or thunderstorm Memorial Day afternoon. We will have sunny skies, a little bit cooler, mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chaffetz County Sports Report. We're not done telling you about the accomplishments of local athletes at the State Track and Field Championships. In fact, Javon Aguiar from Hagerman and Alani McGill from Gateway Christian, they had the kind of performances that put you in the running for a top individual scorer in these track meets. They didn't win that, but impressive nonetheless. Javon, a senior for Hagerman, was first in the 2A long jump, and he was first in the 100-meter dash, sticking with his teammates for a second. Felix Chacon, a junior for Hagerman, was second in the discus. And Aiden Donahue from Hagerman, she was third in the girls' discus. Alani McGill from Gateway Christian, second in the 100-meter hurdles. She was first in the 300-meter hurdles, and she was second in the Class 1A long jump. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Stocks drifted to a mixed close on Wall Street Thursday in what has been a rocky week so far because of worries coming out of the bond market about the U.S. government's mounting debt. The average rate on a 30-year mortgage in the United States climbed this week to its highest level since mid-February. The rate increased to 6.86% from 6.81% last week. Mercedes-Benz will establish Atlanta as Mercedes-Benz headquarters in North America by centralizing and uniting key corporate functions. The company will move up to 500 jobs to the existing Mercedes-Benz facility in Fulton County. 1-cent coins will stop being produced in the United States next year, the Treasury Department has confirmed. It marks the phasing out of the penny, which has been in circulation for more than 2 centuries. By stopping the penny's production, the Treasury expects an immediate annual savings of $56 million in reduced material costs. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
A long list of books and articles have been written on being a servant leader. Amazingly, the Bible describes a true servant leader long before any of those books or articles were ever written. The Apostle Paul writes a letter to Titus, who's working with the Christians on a little island called Crete. Paul admonishes Titus to appoint leaders for the church with the following qualities. So just listen closely. The leader is to be blameless, not overbearing, not quick-tempered, not given to drunkenness, not violent, not pursuing dishonest gain. Instead, he's hospitable, one who loves what is good, who's self-controlled, upright, holy, and disciplined. Isn't it amazing amazing that following God's Word not only works in your spiritual life, but in all aspects of your life? Do you want to be a leader in your church, your family, or maybe even your occupation? Then be the man or woman God calls you to be. If our world followed God's tenets of servant leadership, what a great place our world would be.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
It's been a long, cold, boring winter, and children in neighborhoods everywhere are waiting to hear those magical words. The pool's open! Summer weather has finally rolled around. Make sure your pool is ready. Preparing and maintaining your pool for summer the right way will create a season full of smiles instead of headaches and make your life much easier. Soft Swim, the chlorine-free sanitizing system by BioGuard, only at Mays Lumber Company, 115 South Virginia in Roswell. Dion's is homegrown right here in New Mexico and is the perfect place for team dinners, family gatherings, and all of your catering needs. Stop by our location on South Main and West Wildy, where you can feed 5 for $35 plus tax with a large one-topping pizza and a family-size salad. With Dion's, we make it easy to bring together your favorite people with your favorite food. Visit Dion's.com to order ahead for dine-in or for pickup. That's Dion's.com. Dion's, where great food and good people meet.
Growing things in Roswell is a battle. Your lawn's trying to turn brown, your trees are wanting to turn yellow, the weeds want to take over, and the fleas and ticks are trying to move in. So come down to Roswell Seed Company and choose your weapons. We have fertilizer to make your lawn lush and lovely, iron to keep your trees nice and green, sprays to kill the weeds, and more sprays to chase away the fleas and ticks. This is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. Yeah, it's a jungle out there, except it never rains.
Push it, pull it, drag it, tow it. Whatever you gotta do, get your clunker to the first annual Cash for Clunkers at Roswell Nissan. This weekend only, Roswell Nissan is offering up to $5,000 towards any new vehicle, including all new 2025 Pathfinders and Armadas. So now you can trade in that old and busted for some brand new hotness. And join Roswell Nissan this Saturday, Sunday, and Memorial Monday from 11 to 2 for free barbecue and drinks, Jolly Jump for the kids, and sign up for your chance to win a Weber Grill to be given away on Memorial Day. Cash for Clunkers, on now at Roswell Nissan. 2111 West Side.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:48. Got a few minutes here for top of the hour news and all that. We can hang out, chit-chat for a bit. Don't forget, we do have high school graduations available and soon to be available, ksvptv.com, as it is graduation weekend. University High, their graduation was last night. You can go up and actually watch it now at ksvptv.com. Artesia Bulldogs also graduated last night. We have that ceremony up there, too, if you care to see it. Tonight, Roswell High will be graduating. We'll have that for you live streaming video in the Coyote channel there this evening. I believe that graduation starts at 7. And then tomorrow, when Goddard graduates, we'll have that for you as well in the Goddard Rocket channel. As I always say, though, if you are here in town and able and probably want to, get out there to the Wool Bowl and cheer them on. But if you have out-of-town family and friends, you know, grandfolks or aunts and uncles that are not living in the area, you can point them to our website, and they can watch the graduation there. So ksvptv.com. Tonight's in the Coyote channel, tomorrow in the Goddard Rocket channel.
Yes.
There you go.
Congratulations to the class of 2025.
There you go. Yep. Memorial Day weekend also in play. Is this? I always thought they separated. Like it doesn't. It always seemed like graduation happened and then was like, is it like later this year or is Memorial Day early this year? Is that what's going on?
You know, I feel like the kids are going to school a lot more days now.
Yeah.
Than when we were kids. Like our summer feels longer, but it was confirmed it's 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Our summer. I mean, that 8 weeks, that doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
But they're back August 1st, basically.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think what it is just the way that the month of May falls in line.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's Memorial Day weekend, but then there's like 4 more days of May.
Yeah.
And that usually don't feel right. Usually Memorial Day weekend happens and you're like rolling into June. It seems like a day or so later.
No, I think it's usually around this time, but I think that the kids usually are out a little sooner.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I feel like Memorial Day is a little early in the month, just because of the way the weekends fell.
The thing is, for most of my radio career, Memorial Day weekend was hike it, spike it. So that was what, I was getting battle ready.
Yeah.
Like at that point, the whole week before was
time to musk up.
Was basically it was every client that we had to have a specific hike it, spike it spot, and so a lot of them didn't have their spots. So we had to like come up with ideas and stuff, and I had to put together like all of these different concepts for all of these different advertisers
right
in the week leading up to. And so it'd be like 4:59 on a Friday, and I'd still be working on a spot trying to get everything ready before heading out that weekend for the whole thing, the whole shebang-a-bang.
My wife texted me saying they're going an extra 2 weeks than they used to, so that might also be part of the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It feels like more time. Although, that being said, we only had Thursday, Friday off for like Thanksgiving, whereas these kids get the whole week off.
They do have that week, yeah.
I think maybe the Christmas break's about 2 weeks, so I don't know. It just feels like they're doing more now. I know there's a lot more to learn.
Yeah, and also too, I'm always used to spring break rolling around with Easter, and this year it was like
there was a big
separation between spring break and Easter.
But also this year was about as late as Easter can be. Yeah. I think it can be like a week later technically, but to fall within the I think it's the vernal equinox window, it's like this time to that time, and it was on the later half. But like last year, it was super early.
Yeah. I don't know. It just don't. I think to me more so than anything, it's not that the kids are. That feels normal.
Yeah.
Memorial Day feels early for me. That's what it is. I feel like because there's like a whole week before the week. You know what I mean? I think it usually says that last weekend, and technically it is. There's just 4 more days of a work week after the weekend. And
it's sort of like getting the goodbye out, and then you both have to walk the same direction.
Right.
It's like, oh, well, now I'm going to have to say bye again. That's basically what 4 days of a work week after a celebratory weekend feels like. It's like, hey, we did what, Tuesday? Oh.
Yeah.
You're a what, Wednesday?
Yeah. And I ain't gonna lie, this next couple weeks is gonna feel weird to me because I've got a lot of just going on with. Of course, we're after the work day here, hopefully earlier rather than later. We're gonna be heading to Albuquerque for the weekend. Like I said, we're gonna go see Banana Ball with the Texas Tailgaters and do all that. So, and then it's Memorial Day weekend. Then I got to go to Lubbock for another eye deal, where they're gonna shoot another thing in my eyeball.
Gary Laser Eyes, I'm gonna start calling you.
And so my work week starts Wednesday next week, which is gonna feel weird. And then pull back the curtain here, like the second week in June, the 9th to the 13th, we're gonna take that week off for vacation, and we're gonna go up to Durango. I'm going to do things I've never done. Like I've been in New Mexico for, oh my goodness, almost 30 years.
It's tough when you finally sit down and try to put the numbers down too. You're like, oh no.
Yeah, since if you count my military time, it's been almost 30 years.
I'm more of a New Mexican than an Oklahoman or anything else.
Well, I'm 52. So if I've been here almost 30 years, I've spent more than half my life here in Nuevo Mexico.
Nuevo Mexico.
Full on Nuevo Mexican. But anyway, I've never been to like the Four Corners.
Which is surprising to me.
Yeah.
That's almost like a rite of passage.
I've never done these things. So we're gonna
a pilgrimage almost.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to Durango, Colorado.
Nice.
Do the train deal. Do the train and all that.
That's one of my bucket list items for sure.
Tickets booked and seats picked and all that good stuff. So we'll spend a day doing that.
Nice.
Is it Mesa Verde Cliff Dwellings? It's something like that. That's about 30 miles from there. We're gonna go spend a day at that park there and go see the cliff dwellings and all the stuff there.
It's gonna be a tough one, man. You're gonna stumble. Oh, look at the quiff dwellings.
So many quiffs.
He's wittily hitting the gwitty on the quiffs.
Elmer Fudd goes to the Fudd goes to the cliff dwellings.
Look at all the quiff dwellings.
Where's that Looney Tune? So we'll do that, and then spend a couple days there, and then as we make our way back to New Mexico, we'll hit Four Corners.
Okay.
Do Four Corners thing, and then we'll probably drop into Albuquerque and spend the day or so
Now,
with the folks and then come back.
I'm going to tell you the equivalent at Four Corners of when you go to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa and everybody's in the field doing this.
Yeah, I've been there, by the way.
Have you?
Yeah.
Humble brag.
Well, it was when I was in the military.
Right.
Before, there was like 2 months of not bombing, and then I got to go see that.
But what the equivalent to that is the Four Corners is go to Walmart before you go.
Yeah.
Get yourself one of them white plastic lawn chairs.
Oh, yes.
And then put a leg in each state.
Yeah.
So that you can sit in 4 states.
Yeah.
Or just go crisscross applesauce.
I'll just whip the one I keep in the back of my vehicle at all times.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
But if you want to achieve the true, like, the American dream, it's got to be that white plastic Walmart chair. I understand you could whip out, like, a chair in a bag, but...
That's what I keep in there.
We got to
white
go.
plastic
Walmart
Walmart chair. I keep one right back there.
Okay, never mind.
It's the middle seat. No, just kidding.
I remove my minutes.
Doesn't everyone keep one of those in the back of their vehicle?
Of course. Mine's duct taped down.
Although, you know, what would be kind of cool is to do, you know, like, yes, you've got those folding chairs, but I want to take the white plastic chair and make it like in the 80s, those fold glasses. You know, I remember them folding glasses that they had? Do you not remember those?
The ones that...
they folded into like one lens, and they kind of
I do remember
leg
those.
folded,
Yeah.
Then they put them in a little thing about that big. I want to like carve the white chair, so like the things fold, so I can pull it out of the back of the truck and just do a and slap that bad boy on the four corners.
Here's what that tells me.
Yeah.
You've never been an overweight man. Because
yes, I have.
No. You've been overweight.
Yeah.
You've never been. If you make any adjustment to those chairs and damage the structural integrity therein, you're going down. You are hitting the ground.
Well, if I'm going to do that much work on these things to make it do that, I'm going to reinforce the other parts. That's all I'm saying.
This chair is taking on a whole new
Oh,
life.
yeah, this thing's going to turn. It's going to be the Elvis plane all over again. I'm gonna That's a lot of work for a $2 chair.
Oh, okay. This is going to mean absolutely nothing to pretty much your entire demographic. But
all right.
If you have kids of a certain age, we'll say like 8 or under, you'll understand this, what I'm talking about. Michael Bay, acclaimed director, or at least explosions, Michael Bay, just started production on a Skibbity toilet movie.
I don't know what a Skibbity toilet is.
Consider yourself a blessed man.
But I know Michael Bay movies, so I'm like, all right.
It's this awful, and I mean awful trend, a series of videos that hit the internet a few years back. And the main character is just this head on a long neck sticking out of a dirty toilet.
Okay.
And he says, he talks gibberish, like,
okay.
And apparently,
you got to wrap it up in 30 seconds.
There's a whole lore behind it. There's like a whole story franchise of like good versus evil, and Skibbity toilets somehow fall. It's ridiculous, and it shouldn't exist. And now they're making a whole. And I'm saying they said trilogy.
Trilogy. Wow, 3 of these movies.
Oh, come on, Michael Bay. I don't know why, but I expected better from you.
I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know the toilet thing, so maybe I need to see that reference first. But I'm peaked. It's my curiosity's peaked. Because I know Michael Bay movies.
I hate it so much.
I just picture this toilet guy just like flying through the air with that explosion behind him, like a Michael Bay deal.
I'll find some videos. I don't want to damage my algorithm.
Right.
But my son has introduced me to these things. They're awful.
You listen to 106.5 Roswell Talk FM Andy Roswell, New Mexico.
This hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump threatens 50% tariffs on European Union goods if more progress isn't made at the bargaining table. And there's also a heads up for Apple.
President Donald Trump says if Apple doesn't start making iPhones in the U.S., he's going to put a 25% tariff on Apple products. Trump's threat was delivered on social media and could potentially hurt Apple's sales and profits. Trump posts on Truth Social, "I have long ago informed Tim Cook of Apple that I expect their iPhones that will be sold in the United States of America will be manufactured and built in the United States, not India or any place else." In response to Trump's tariffs on China, Cook was looking to shift iPhone manufacturing to India. Donna Warder, Washington.
The FBI vows to pull out all the stops in its investigation of Wednesday night's deadly shooting outside the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C.
Make no mistake, this attack was targeted anti-Semitic violence, and it won't be tolerated. These significant charges are a step towards restoring justice for the victims and their families. But our work is not done. The FBI will continue to pursue all leads.
That's the FBI Stephen Jensen. 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago facing multiple charges in the attack that left 2 people dead. The victims, Israeli embassy staffers, were soon to be engaged. Upon his arrest, the gunman shouted, "Free Palestine." Harvard is suing the Trump administration after it revoked the university's ability to enroll international students. Harvard accused of fostering an unsafe anti-Semitic campus environment. Watching Wall Street, the Dow down 359 points. The NASDAQ is off 248. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
There has been yet another confrontation in the South China Sea involving the usual suspects.
Philippine officials have condemned the Chinese Coast Guard for using powerful water cannon and sideswiping one of 2 Philippine fishing boats conducting marine research in the disputed South China Sea near one of 3 sandbars called Sandy Cay.
At the Official of the Philippines, your unsafe maneuvers are in clear violation of your obligations.
China's Coast Guard blamed the Philippines for the collision. Territorial disputes in the South China Sea have long been regarded as a major Asian flashpoint. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Iran and the U.S. are meeting for a 5th round of negotiations over Tehran's rapidly advancing nuclear program enrichment, emerging as a key issue. Iran has already said that no one will stop it from enriching uranium. President Trump says enrichment must come to a halt. News and analysis, townhall.com. Home sales slump.
The spring home buying season is off to a chilly start. This is traditionally the busiest time of the year to buy. Home sales dropped 0.5% last month. The National Association of Realtors says it was the slowest sales pace for the month of April, dating back to 2009 in the wake of the housing crisis. The numbers were similar in March. Experts say affordability, because of high mortgage rates, is the big roadblock to buying a home. Home prices increased for the 22nd month in a row. Those shoppers who can't afford to buy a home at current mortgage rates are benefiting from more homes on the market. I'm Ed Donahue.
The Memorial Day travel rush is on. Americans expected to get away in record numbers over the long weekend. AAA figures that more than 45 million people venturing at least 50 miles from home. Most of them will be making road trips. The TSA expects to screen about 18 million passengers at the airports. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel wishing, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce and such.
The deuce and such of Morning with Mike Winters. I like to say that slow. The deuce and such of Mornings with Mike Winters. Right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope all of you are excited and got big plans for the Memorial Day weekend. Of course, graduation weekend as well. So a lot of excitement for a lot of families as everyone graduating and moving on to the next phase of life. So a lot of exciting stuff going on this weekend. Of course, don't forget, being the Memorial Day weekend. Tomorrow, I know there's going to be both at Memory Lawn and at South Park cemeteries. They're going to have folks out putting out flags on the graves of all of the veterans at the cemeteries this weekend. I know both cemeteries welcome volunteers to come on down. I know scouts and such will be, I believe, at both cemeteries. I believe they begin at 9 a.m. Down at Memory Lawn, and roughly around the same time, I believe, at South Park Cemetery. So they'll be doing all that tomorrow, distributing the flags on the graves. And I love, if you've got a family, especially young kids, I highly invite you to encourage you to go out to one of those. It's always cool to see that going on and kind of explain to your kids why they're doing it and what's the purpose of this. So that's going to be taking place at pretty much both cemeteries tomorrow. And then Monday, of course, they're going to have Memorial Day services at both cemeteries as well. Matter of fact, we're scheduled to have the Chaves County veterans join us, talk about what they've got planned for Monday. I know Memory Lawn, American Legion's got some ceremonies planned there on Monday morning as well. So all of that going on. Yeah, I should turn your mic on.
Hi.
Microphone.
I got to tell you, I accidentally drove. I mean, I was just driving around, and I drove by Memory Lawn Cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
That is a beautiful new flag that they have out there.
The big Garrison flag?
The big American flag, yeah.
Yeah.
Thing is, you guys need a bigger Palmilla flag now.
Well, yeah, the POW flag.
Yeah,
that's
it's
something
a
they've
little
been working
small
on.
by comparison. It was a tough one.
Yeah. The Garrison flag is a royal pain to maintain.
I'd imagine, especially in Roswell, New Mexico.
Well, and that Garrison flag is now it's built to be in the winds and to be tough. But that Garrison flag, this is not like the flag you just go down to the hardware store and buy for $20 or whatever they're charging for those flags. This is a $1,000 plus flag. Wow. And the thing is, we get at best 6 months before it's shredded, or sometimes we can repair it, sometimes it's beyond repair. And so, yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, with that, and also we've been trying to work to get a POW. We had a bigger one. Guess what? It got shredded.
Yeah, it's Roswell.
So that's kind of the bane
of.
We can't
have nice things.
The crux of the problem there is, yes, I agree with you, but it is quite expensive. And, and I'm not gonna lie here. We kind of got bigger fish to fry out there with the irrigation
100%.
system and the watering, and there's some things that they're trying to do. So yes, I invite you to go out this weekend and be a part of it. Check it out. But yeah, it a lot of work has been done out there. A lot of work still needs to be done.
It's beautiful compared to what it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and it's
wildly improved.
But yeah, trust me, as sitting on the boards for that and and listening to and hearing the flags have been a point of contention.
It's understandable
because we all understand and know we're going to keep because it's happening. That's what we do. But it is becoming a financial strain to keep it tip top all the time.
So if you happen to be looking for someone to donate to,
absolutely,
who's in need, these folks who maintain that cemetery do a fine job, and they definitely could use your help.
I will tell you where to go if you'd like to do that. Go to roswelllegion.org and you'll find a donate now. It is that particular cemetery is owned and run by American Legion Post 61 here in Roswell. And so you can donate directly to the post. You can earmark it. Like, see, you got to tell them, though. You tell them, you say, hey, I'm making a donation. This is for Memory Lawn. And they will mark it directly for memory. If you just give them a donation, they'll use it where best the Legion is. So, but if you want to earmark it directly to go to Memory Lawn projects, then just, there's a donate now, or you can, they'll tell you you can cut a check or whatever. But, yes, that would be greatly appreciated. Also, I would like to point out, too, that if you do have family out there, like if you have family that are buried out there, check in on it. Go do your stuff. Most of my life, I did not care or know to anything about laws and rules at cemeteries. Just never had a need or a desire to know these
Turns
things.
out it never came up. When you're a DJ, it almost never comes up. Undertaking, no.
But in the last, since the Post has kind of taken over the cemetery there, I've learned a lot about like what we can touch and can't touch. Like when you buy a plot out there and stuff, we're not allowed to really fiddle with it. Especially the headstones and stuff, because it's y'all's property. You bought it, it's yours.
Oh.
And if we break it, we're on the hook for it. If we do something, and we're open to lawsuits and stuff. So
sure.
So families, if you're seeing things out there, I mean, we feel dirt. We do our best to keep it, But at the end of the day, we can't really touch those headstones. We're not authorized.
Right. you mow over it. Right.
Well, around them, whatever, can't mow over them all. But, we mow around where there is grass or weeds, if you want to call it that. Sure. But, like, and we'll fill in dirt and things, but we really, like the headstones and things we can't, like, if they break.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
If you purchase a plot, so I purchase a plot.
Yeah.
That's mine.
Yes.
That's my property.
Yes.
So I can just, go kick it?
No.
On my property?
It's
the same thing with the whole. I just bought a square foot of land in Scotland, you know. So can I just go hang out on my square
foot? I think
foot?
because of zoning things, it's not plotted as a residential property, so therefore you're not allowed to live in it.
Okay. So you're saying if I was to run electrical and sewage to my plot, and then just set up a tiny home there, it might be frowned upon by the board.
If you build a mausoleum out there and move into it, yes, they would have
be hilarious. I think if I could pull off, I would need to buy 2 plots, obviously. But I think if I had 2 plots of land, I think I've seen enough YouTube videos that I could build a tiny home.
Well, if someone tries to squat on memory lawn, we're going to know exactly where this current.
Sir, someone's asking where to install these electrical panels.
I want to put a porta potty right here.
You guys just show up there for just routine maintenance, and you just hear the sounds of a construction site.
I would gotta be honest though. Let's for a moment.
But I'm not trying to
no, I know,
the,
but
the
I'm going to play this scenario out just for a second. For a moment. By the way, we don't have a guest here, do we?
Not that I've seen yet.
Okay. For a moment. We're going to play.
Let's play this out.
This might take a minute. So we'll say in the world that you do procure the ability to build a tiny, we'll call it, I don't know.
It's going to have to be a couple of stories.
Yeah, all right. We'll call it a tiny home. Say you managed to build on your cemetery plot you bought.
Yes.
I'm guessing in theory you would bury yourself there when said you leave this earth.
Sure. Once I'm done.
Yeah. Would you? I don't know. It's a cemetery. I've seen Poltergeist. I've seen a lot of movies.
Now,
is this where you want to call your place your home?
This is where things get interesting because it's mostly military out there, right?
Well, yes and no. It's a lot of families, but there's about 200 plus veterans. Yeah.
I'm just saying, this could be the greatest war/zombie movie of all time that we're plotting here. But no, I think. Yeah, that would probably get to me eventually. I'm not one to like dabble in the supernatural, really. I don't like it's fine.
Yeah.
But it always like, okay, so when you're watching like those ghost shows or whatever, you're seeing the best bits.
Sure.
But it is have you ever just sat for 12 hours and done anything?
I'm a DJ.
I understand. My favorite thing in the world is, let's just, in this scenario, just say hanging out on my couch, hanging with my cat, watching YouTube. That's like my sweet spot.
Sure.
Doing that for 12 hours straight, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
So doing anything like that where you're sitting and waiting for anything to happen, that would drive me insane. I would make up things that I heard just to have something to do.
Well, and here's the thing. And I'm gonna take a stab. Like if they're the Ghost Adventure guys or whatever. I mean, they this is they're. But yeah, if you were just out doing your ghost adventuring or whatever it was, ghost hunting or whatever you want to call it. You're built a certain way. That's people that want to do that all the time.
Yeah,
they don't think like the mainstream people do.
Right.
Their head's in a different place.
You have to be.
Yeah. But B is, I think, also because you're in the human body, when you're in a place where you're expecting surprises, you tend to create surprises in your head that aren't actual surprises.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No, it does. You're creating phenomena to break the monotony.
You're right.
Because you're doing anything like sitting in a dark room staring at a light, panel or whatever.
So I think in that situation, to someone that's not used to doing those kinds of things, I think you're going to drive yourself insane.
Right.
I think you're going to, every little twitch, bump in the night, everything that happens, you're going to associate with ghost activity.
And I know me. The structure that I'm going to build is going to be creaky. So it's going to go bump in the night. And that's I'm not going to say I'm going to get a lot of sleep here. Maybe this is just my hang. Maybe I just turn this into like the man cave.
The man cave.
Yeah. I've joked about renting one of those, not refrigerated, but one of those like temperature controlled storage sheds, and just turning that into just kind of like a hang. It seems like a fun idea, just have a place away from my place to just go and chill.
I will tell you this, like if my life was completely different, like I wasn't married, wasn't just a guy who just, I'm not opposed to being that guy that like lives in the cargo box in the woods somewhere that I trick out, all niced up and everything. I don't think I'd have a partner that'd want to do that with me. Certainly my current wife would never jive for that.
Sure.
And to be honest, at this point, I might be if I was in my 20s doing this, I would have been much more like, now I'm 50s. I'm a little lazy and comfortable.
But see, that's the thing. Now that you're in your 50s, sure, but you also are in your 50s in the greatest time to be a survivalist, because you could get Jackery. You could get one of those solar powered generators and set up, have actual power, be off grid.
Yeah.
You could get Starlink and be off grid for internet.
Yeah.
You could set up your own water sources. I would assume.
Well, some of that, here's my idea thing. I'd have Starlink would have to be off the table, because if I'm going to do this, I'm not going to have a lot of income coming in, and I'm not going to be able to afford a Starlink internet bill.
Well, see, in my scenario,
you've retired and had
the way that you've become single is you've become independently wealthy.
Oh, okay. Now we're talking.
And just nobody in your life can stand to be around you anymore, and so everybody is left. Okay? So
wait a minute. Are you hanging out at my house?
This is the scenario. You're Elon Musk, okay?
It's starting to hit too close to home.
You have all the money in the world, but nobody wants to hang out with you. So
for the money part.
In this situation, then you can go off grid and you can do your thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I wasn't necessarily factoring in income into this. It is going to be hard to maintain your job as an FM radio DJ whilst also
Although, like, solar panels, I could be like the mac and cheese guy, just be homeless and mac and cheese.
I could just picture Mike setting up a makeshift like bamboo satellite or antenna,
right,
and doing like pirate radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming to you from the Isles.
Hey, I'm gonna keep my Jeep, so I'm gonna pull a pump up the volume situation.
There you go.
We'll go mobile.
The station that reaches the beaches from high in the mountains. It's WMIK.
Who's MIA? Where is he? I don't know.
KMIE. It spells Mike eventually.
I heard the phone ring. Did that mean guests are here?
I think guests are. I'm not sure. It might have just been somebody calling to talk about her. No?
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I was like, they might have just been calling to
I heard the phone ring, and then I
applaud
didn't know
us
if
for
someone
our
was waiting,
rave
so.
morning show.
Yes, believe it or not, I'm killing time.
Yeah.
But I am a bit of a mark for watching those like tiny house off the grid type shows where people build their quote unquote off the grid dream facility. And if I had the time and the income and a wife that would be agreeable to that, I would totally be down for that.
That is the one thing that when I'm watching these shows, like this guy built, he basically built, there was a boat on a trailer and it was dilapidated. And he built a tiny mobile home on the back of it. I guess this here, by the way.
Good.
And he was like, and here's my wife. I'm like, wait, you're married? You have somebody who let you do this? And like, even like she was living in it for a while. But I think it's, if you have reached that level of ability and creativity, then you get a pass, I guess.
Yeah, but
as long as you make it functional. I mean,
I just, I don't know. My job and what I do and everything else. And I'm thinking, I don't know what, like to have a day of like, what's your day? I don't know. We're going to catch some fish. We're going to make sure that this works. Like work the garden. That kind of sounds like a delightful
day. The TV show Get Smart pretty much ruined me because if I had all the money in the world, golden dream is to have a home that is hidden, preferably underground, with an entrance that doesn't look like an entrance. Like what I've always pictured it is have like an old busted out Ford Model A or Model T or whatever.
You want a hobbit hole
in the middle of the field. You lift the hood and there's a staircase that goes down to my house.
Yeah.
Or like a pole or something. That's like my dream, is to have a fun hidden entrance.
Nice. Well, you should watch like those millionaire homes. Almost all those people, like back in the Cribs days, but like the new modern versions, there's like whole TikTok things devoted to people that have like this
secret
whole
rooms,
hidden bowling alley thing behind a bookshelf kind of deal.
Where you pull the book. That's all. That's to me is the future that I always dreamed of.
Yeah.
Is having hidden rooms behind bookcases.
That's a lot of watching Batman when you're young. Move the statue to get the Batcave. Yeah, all that. I know James Edwards is here with the Chaves County Veterans. Talk about Memorial Day services and things. Before we do that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're hitting the upper 90s with sunny skies today. Overnight, a few clouds and low 60s, and then right around 100 and a little bit breezy and sunny on Saturday. Another hot day coming up on Sunday will be in the upper 90s with sunshine and then a slim chance of a shower or thunderstorm Memorial Day afternoon. We will have sunny skies, a little bit cooler, mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 72 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 22%. Winds are calm at the moment. It will be warm next several days here, so hydrate up and sunscreen up. Mostly sunny, highs near 100 today, 99 officially. South winds 5 to 10 this morning, 10 to 15 for the afternoon. Mostly clear tonight. Expect an overnight low of 62 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny, highs right at 100. Winds will be out of the northwest 5 to 10 in the morning, shifting to the south, picking up 10 to 15 for tomorrow afternoon. Partly cloudy tomorrow night with an overnight low of 61 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly sunny for you Sunday. little cooler, 95 for a high. West winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. For your Memorial Day, things cool down a bit and slight rain chance as well. There is a 20% chance for some afternoon showers and thunderstorms Memorial Day. Otherwise sunny, 90 for a high. But that leads us into the week of pretty decent rain chances for part of it. For Tuesday, we're looking at a 20% chance of rain, mostly sunny, 89 for a high. 40% chance of rain on Wednesday of next week, mostly cloudy and 83, and a 30% chance of rain Thursday, partly cloudy, 85 for a high there. So cooler temps and some rain chances next week. So we'll see, but you got to get through the hot spell here for the next couple days. All right, it is 25 minutes after 8. We're going to take a 2.5-minute break, and then we'll talk Memorial Day services and everything with James Edwards from Chaves County Veterans. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
The summer of fun is on at Roswell Honda. Now through the end of the month, get scorching savings across the lot on a great selection of vehicles, like a new 2026 Honda Passport as low as 3.99% for 36 months, or a 25 Honda Civic Sedan Hybrid, just 4.99% for 48 months, or lease a 2025 Honda Ridgeline all-wheel drive, just $409 a month for 36 months. Roswell Honda has the deals to take your summer adventure to a whole new level. The summer of fun begins at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have Project Superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles, or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges, or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
A long list of books and articles have been written on being a servant leader. Amazingly, the Bible describes a true servant leader long before any of those books or articles were ever written. The Apostle Paul writes a letter to Titus, who's working with the Christians on a little island called Crete. Paul admonishes Titus to appoint leaders for the church with the following qualities. So just listen closely. The leader is to be blameless, not overbearing, not quick-tempered, not given to drunkenness, not violent, not pursuing dishonest gain. Instead, he's hospitable, one who loves what is good, who's self-controlled, upright, holy, and disciplined. Isn't it amazing that following God's word not only works in your spiritual life, but in all aspects of your life? Do you want to be a leader in your church, your family, or maybe even your occupation? Then be the man or woman God calls you to be. If our world followed God's tenets of servant leadership, what a great place our world would be.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion, unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 28 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Veterans, James Edwards with us. Of course, good morning, James. How are you doing today? Of course, many might know you from school board or many of the other hats you wear around in our community here. So
I'm doing just great, sir. Just great.
And first off, thank you for your service as a fellow veteran here, hence the reason why you're involved here with Chaves County Veterans. And, always, I know every veterans organization in this community, whether it's VFW, American Legion, Chaves County Veterans, all could use more folks to get involved and be a part of that. So if you're some veterans out there looking to get involved with other veterans, there's several amazing organizations, including Chaves County Veterans, that would love to have you be a part of it. So, good deal. Of course, this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, we talk, there's going to be lots of stuff going on, but Chaves County Veterans, as they do every year, will be doing their Memorial Day services this weekend down at South Park there at the Veterans Memorial and everything out there. I know there's going to be stuff going around at all cemeteries. I just get families out and get involved. But Are you guys part of some of the flag placement putting out this weekend too, and all that?
Yes, sir. Over at South Park Cemetery at 3101 South Main, they're going to be putting up flags on Saturday, and they need, if you're interested in volunteering and setting up flags, they'll be setting up flags around the road and placing flags at all of the veteran burial sites that are on grounds.
Yeah, it's a lot of acreage to cover there.
Yes, sir.
So the more family folks that can come out and be a part of it, the more hands make less work kind of thing.
And it's a good cause, because a lot of these veterans, a lot of them, some of them have been forgotten, and it's important that we remember our veterans on Memorial Day and this Memorial Day weekend, and that's going to take place at 7 a.m. on Saturday, May 24th, this Saturday. So I encourage all people to come out and put as many flags up and
absolutely
and fellowship.
I love that. What I love seeing when we do these weekend events is I love when families come out, when mom and dad, and then they bring the kids with them out there, and they do it together as a family, and use this as kind of a teachable moment for the kids, and talking about some of the and even talk like there's so much history at a cemetery. You don't realize so much you can learn about your own community here. And you're going to go through those, and you start seeing the different veterans from different eras of war. From I think some date back to pre-World War I, and something out there. I know at Memory Lawn, I think they've got some dating back to like Civil War or something.
18.
But,
yes,
yeah,
sir. Yes,
but
sir.
And so you realize the different the eras of history, and seeing the different veterans, and seeing, I don't know, but I'm going to take a stab. We probably even got a few graves for more modern wars here in Gulf War and Afghanistan stuff. I hope there's not too many of those out there, but I imagine there's probably one or two of those out there
Yes,
too.
sir. There are.
And so use this as that reflective. And this is something, I know you're going to hear it a lot, but do want to remind folks, Memorial Day weekend, it's never a bad time to think of veteran. I always say that, me personally, but when we talk about veterans and honoring our military, this weekend is to honor those who have paid the ultimate price for sacrifice for this country, those that were fallen in their service of the military and to our nation. And it's Veterans Day. That's when we honor our veterans here in the fall. Armed Forces Day, all to the party, but this is a more solemn, and I get it. We all think about backyard cookouts and picnics and family, and that's wonderful. Veterans love that too. But we want to take a moment out of your weekend of fun and graduations and cookouts and all of that, and take a moment to thank the people that gave us the reason that you could have the cookouts and the graduations and all the fun. And it's those men and women that are internally interred at our local cemeteries out here. So come be a part of it. Come. So they're going to start at 7 a.m. on Saturday, which is probably smart because it's going to be 100 that day.
Right. and that's for to put the flags out. And they want to get a head start because, on Memorial Day, which is going to be that Monday, which is May 26th, the service starts at 10 o'clock. They've got a couple of guest speakers. I know that Sheriff Mike Harrington is going to be one of them.
Excellent. A veteran himself.
Yes, sir. Candy Spence-Azell, I believe she went from county state rep to
senator now, state senator. Yeah.
And then Tom Blake's going to provide music.
You can't be an official Roswell event without Tom Blake doing the music. I feel it feels like once he's there doing with his guitar, now it's official. So that's awesome to have too.
And the two gentlemen I met just recently from the Chaves County Veterans, I believe Jeremy Hurley is the president of the group, and Jim Ball is the vice president, and then you have Ruben Esquivel, who is the sexton and does a great job in facilitating putting these getting these flags and the volunteers.
That's a harder job than I realized. I was actually talking earlier in the hour with our American Legion and Post 61 and the rules of cemeteries and how to work. And I was like, I didn't know there was that much complication in a cemetery ever till I started doing it. So I appreciate, just from the things I've learned over the last year, the sexton's role out there. A very important job.
Yes.
So,
and it's important that we remember these vets, whether they died in combat or they died later on after the combat, or even if they served. Memorial Day is just that. It's a memorial for those that have paid the ultimate price. And that the ultimate price to me is, yes, dying for your country, but also serving your country.
You're spot on. And the thing that, especially as we've gotten society's evolved a little bit, we're kind of learning that, even if, some of these veterans, they served war, Vietnam or Korea, whatever. They were in for 4 years or 6 years, whatever time of service. But those war veterans, they carry that the rest of their lives. That's something, and okay, maybe they were blessed enough to survive the war and live on 30, 40, 50 years, whatever afterwards. They're carrying that with them. There's the things they've seen in combat, the things they do in combat, that shaped and molded everything that happened in their lives afterwards. And they live with that. So you're absolutely right. Those folks that served in war, even the ones that didn't fall on the battlefield, they were fighting battles. And unfortunately, it's taken more modern times for us, the rest of us, to realize, oh, maybe, we should do something about this and we should address this. And so there are so many folks that are struggling after their service because of the things they've done in the service. And that's kind of why I know, like, when the military, like you talk about Gold Star, and for folks that don't know, and you see the Gold Star, that means that represents someone that died in battle. Blue Star represents a service member. They've added in the recent years here the White Star, and those are for soldiers that have committed suicide. And we're raising that importance because we're realizing what's going on here. What is it, 22 a day, or it keeps fluctuating, 22, 23 a day, somewhere in that ballpark. That's a number we got to fix. And I think Memorial Day is a good reminder to hey, yes, we want to honor those we've lost, but let's not forget the ones that are struggling right now too, and let's help them navigate their lives and stuff too.
Right, and I believe families become veterans when they're married, they have kids. Those folks become veterans. They're an extension of that veteran, and so I highly encourage all families, kids,
bring it all out.
Bring them all out.
Let's educate. Let's have fun. Have fun too.
Yes.
That's yes, it's a solemn, important role. But at the same time, it's a great chance for families to kind of do family activities together. Yeah, the kids will run around as a big patch of grass. Of course, they run around. I ran around as a kid in a cemetery. It's what you do. But you take those moments, and as they're putting flags down, and say, see this person here. This is what they did for us, and remind them of those things and honor these people that have. And guess what? These are all family members. That's what I love the local. This is so local here because we talk about Vietnam War and all these wars that were on such a global scale, but these are the men and women from your neighborhoods, your backyards that answered the call when that was brought to them, and so that's why it's up to us, the locals, to keep honoring them, to keep remembering, so those generations of families. And I know I'm getting way soapboxy here, but that's what this weekend's about. This is what's set tomorrow when you come out at 7 a.m. to place flags with your family and everything. This is what you're participating in, is remembering that legacy and making sure the next generation doesn't forget. So, sorry, I got philosophical, but that's really what it is. This is what this weekend's about. So remember that in between the hot dogs and the hamburgers and all that good stuff. So.
And as like with anything else, there's a start and there's a finish. I would be remiss if I don't put this out. And on that same day on Memorial Day.
Yeah, on Monday, yeah.
On that Monday at 6 p.m., there will be a cleanup day. So like I said, what we start, we have to finish.
The flags must be retired after they have. So if you'd like to be a part of that, please help join. Again, if many hands make it go a little quicker there. So about 6 p.m. on Monday.
Yes, sir.
Down again at South Park there, Cemetery, to help reclaim flags and put them back to bed till we need to bring them out again here, so to speak. But again, 7 a.m. tomorrow morning at South Park there. You'll see the group of people just kind of park and then kind of follow the herd, and you'll know it won't be hard to miss.
I believe they're going to meet at the Brick House when you drive in. So there should be a good crowd coming out.
Yeah.
There's some volunteers that have already said they're going to show up. I know some kids from Roswell High are going to show up.
I think scouts will be out there.
Yes, sir.
At cemetery, both cemeteries actually, and then and of course families, veterans. If you are listening or know about it, come on, come all, come bring everybody out. I would love to see. You know what? It'd be a problem where there's like, well, here's like half dozen flags. Everyone gets like 3 flags, and then because we got so many people, that would be a great problem to have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then, of course, Monday morning for the actual Memorial Day services. Remind me, James, what time that's starting again on Monday? I want to say 9, but I think I'm wrong.
I believe it's scheduled to start at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Thank you.
10 a.m. So if you get there about 9:30, 9:45, bring your lawn chairs if you don't have one. If you have health issues, bring an umbrella.
Hydrate,
bring water.
There is some shade out there, but depends on where you're set up and things. It depends on the luck of the trees. So if you need an umbrella or a big hat or something, please dress accordingly there. And then, of course, at 6 p.m. Monday evening, we would love to have folks come back out just to help clean up the flags and get them put to bed. To be honest, that goes pretty quick. You probably could be done in an hour if there's enough people out there working and getting that done.
And we also have the honor guard providing the color guard for that.
They do a great job every time they come
and those are a group of men and women, veterans, a little bit older, but I think they do a great job, and they continue to serve, and that's what impresses me.
Well, they not only are they heavily involved in like Memorial Day and our veterans and our various veteran ceremonies. Those guys every week are going to funeral services for fallen veterans, and they as if they're requested, they're at every one of them doing what they do every single time, and they're all volunteers, and like you said, they're a little older probably because they're all retired and have the ability to be on a Tuesday at 2 p.m. at a cemetery or something. But and I also know they're always, if you're a veteran or want to reach out to them, they're always, because like you said, they're at a lot of places, and so they kind of have to build a stable of people that are available so they can have it's like, oh, I'm not available today, but I'm available Thursday or whatever. So they're always looking for new members to be a part of that too. So if you come out on Monday, when don't, obviously not during the ceremony, but before or after, come up, talk to them, and they'd love to talk to you a little bit. Good deal. So just to recap, tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. at South Park Cemetery for flag displacement. 10 a.m. Monday morning for the Memorial Day ceremony, also at South Park Cemetery, and then at 6 p.m. on Monday, the flag recollecting and putting those to bed. So all that, and then I'll do a quick plug for the memorial lawn as well too. They are going to be putting flags out at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning at Memory Lawn. I want to say there's roughly about 200 graves for veteran graves that are out there. So it takes a minute, but they would love, again, same kind of deal. Bring families out. They're going to be doing a Memorial Day service at 9 a.m. Monday. So I guess you time it right, you can hit them both.
Right.
And then I'm not sure, but their evening, I don't know the exact time, but they've got something planned for flag retrieval as well, roughly in the evening there on Monday as well too. So same kind of deal at Memory Lawn. So kind of, if you can hit them both, great. Or if you have family members at one or the other, maybe go to that one, depending, as it's both have deep histories of family here, and so if you've got family at one or both, maybe make that the point to be at that one. But whatever, or if you hit them both. But either way, come out, be a part, support. Take a moment out of your Memorial Day weekend to honor and participate in the reason why we have a Memorial Day weekend. So, good deal. Is there any information, James, that we wanted to cover or anything we spaced on?
I think we
nailed it.
I think we nailed it.
All right. Well, James, as always, appreciate the visit, and of course, anytime, even if it's school board stuff, anything that you'd need to get to the people, let me know, and we'll make it happen. So.
I do appreciate you allowing me to come onto your show today, and you do a great job.
Well, thank you.
Love the voice.
Some days are better than others.
Hey.
But thank you, appreciate you, and we'll see you this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, it is 8:45. Let's pause for news, your Chaves County sports update, and your Red Apple stock update. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Some big changes to the summer meal program in Roswell and other communities. The grab-and-go style is going away, and kids will have to eat any meals served on site. RISD Superintendent Brian Luck told the school board this week the new guidelines no longer allow breakfasts and lunches to be served together or served in a way that allows the students to eat elsewhere. The new rules also require sites to set up tables and chairs to allow the kids to eat their meals on site. The RISD program will begin June 2nd and last through July 22nd. Any child age 1 to 18 is eligible even if they are not a student in the district. Also in Roswell, the city's deputy police chief has announced he will run for Chaves County Sheriff. Michael Taylor has spent the past 25 years with RPD. His entrance into the contest means there will have to be a primary election between him and current undersheriff Charles Islas. That Republican primary contest will be in June of next year. Incumbent Sheriff Mike Harrington is unable to run again because of term limits. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. We're not done telling you about the accomplishments of local athletes at the State Track and Field Championships. In fact, Javon Aguiar from Hagerman and Alani McGill from Gateway Christian, they had the kind of performances that put you in the running for a top individual scorer in these track meets. They didn't win that, but impressive nonetheless. Javon, a senior for Hagerman, was first in the 2A long jump. And he was first in the 100-meter dash, sticking with his teammates for a second. Felix Chacon, a junior for Hagerman, was second in the discus. And Aiden Donahue from Hagerman, she was third in the girls' discus. Alani McGill from Gateway Christian, second in the 100-meter hurdles. And she was first in the 300-meter hurdles, and she was second in the Class 1A long jump. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're hitting the upper 90s with sunny skies today. Overnight, a few clouds and low 60s, and then right around 100 and a little bit breezy and sunny on Saturday. Another hot day coming up on Sunday will be in the upper 90s with sunshine and then a slim chance of a shower or thunderstorm Memorial Day afternoon. We will have sunny skies, a little bit cooler, mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Stocks will open little changed from yesterday morning. The big financial story is that the House passed its version of President Trump's tax cuts and spending plan. Now it goes to the Senate, where there may be more cuts in spending. Some investment managers said they'd accept this version for now because it'll reduce some taxes and help the economy. But they don't like it long term because even with spending cuts, it still increases the deficit. The key points as of now are: the plan would extend President Trump's expiring 2017 tax cuts and add versions of his campaign promises to eliminate taxes on tips, overtime pay, and Social Security benefits. The bill also raises the child tax credit slightly to $2,500 and adds or expands tax breaks for car loans. Low to middle income adults 65 and up will be able to deduct an additional $4,000 on their tax returns Republicans from wealthy blue states got the limit on state and local tax deductions raised from $10,000 to $40,000. With business, I'm Joe Connolly.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report. Greg Kelly here for Colonial Metals Group, China's leading the largest anti-American alliance since World War II, one that's already dumped U.S. bonds, grabbed 43 million acres of our farmland, and is plotting to dethrone the dollar. That's why IRA and 401k savers are protecting their savings with gold. Go to freegoldguide.com/Kelly or call 800-655-5186 for your free gold guide on how to protect your wealth with gold 100% tax-free.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges, or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Got a pothole or some other issue in your neighborhood? The City of Roswell's Fix It program is your solution. This program is here for Roswell residents to help the city fix issues in your neighborhood. Concerns such as potholes, water leaks, loose manhole covers, fire hazards, abandoned vehicles, and more. To submit a Fix-It form, just log on to roswell-nm.gov/form center. The city would like to thank you for your assistance. And remember, call 911 for all emergencies and call the city at 575-637-6200 for all other business.
A long list of books and articles have been written on being a servant leader. Amazingly, the Bible describes a true servant leader long before any of those books or articles were ever written. The Apostle Paul writes a letter to Titus, who's working with the Christians on a little island called Crete. Paul admonishes Titus to appoint leaders for the church with the following qualities. So just listen closely. The leader is to be blameless, not overbearing, not quick-tempered, not given to drunkenness, not violent, not pursuing dishonest gain. Instead, he's hospitable, one who loves what is good, who's self-controlled, upright, holy, and disciplined. Isn't it amazing that following God's word not only works in your spiritual life, but in all aspects of your life? Do you want to be a leader in your church, your family, or maybe even your occupation? Then be the man or woman God calls you to be. If our world followed God's tenets of servant leadership, what a great place our world would be.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
So you think drinking alcohol can't hurt you? It'll mess you up big time. Say adios to large chunks of your brain. Major damage is already being done. Other parts of your body are getting wrecked too. Forget about sports, forget about school, forget about doing much of anything. Underage drinking freaks out your body, messes up your life.
Sponsored by the NMDOT.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting him in there. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 8:54. Got a few minutes here before top of the hour news. I'll give you a movie recommendation to check out for the weekend. If you're looking for a good family or couples movie that I thought was cute and pretty good, I found it on Netflix, and it's been out for about a week or two, and somebody may have seen it. I may have mentioned it a little bit on the show, but I watched it, last weekend, and I thought it was a good movie. It's called Nanas, and it's a straight to Netflix movie. It's got kind of a pretty star-studded cast, slightly, a little older version of it, but yeah. So the movie stars Vince Vaughn, Susan Sarandon is in it, Lorraine Bracco is in it, who you would know her from Goodfellas. She played Ray Liotta's wife in Goodfellas. She was also the therapist in the Sopranos series. If you watch the Sopranos, the therapist that Tony saw, that's Lorraine Bracco. Her, she's in it. Taya Shire is also in it. She, of course, most people, I know her from two things, and that's it. Adrian from the Rocky movies, and then, of course, The Godfather. She was in The Godfather as well, too. But she's in it, which is a rare thing. I hadn't seen her in a movie in 100 years, since Rocky, I think. And so it'd been a minute. So she's in it. There's a couple other, his best friend, women's Joe Magnioni or whatever his name is. He's kind of a ladies like him. He's in it too. I don't remember the actress's name, but if you watch The Sopranos, it's an Italian movie, hence all the Sopranos and Godfather references. But if you remember in The Sopranos, Chris Moldesante, which was Tony Soprano's cousin, his wife, girlfriend that, spoiler alert, got taken out in like season 6 or 5, or I don't remember, about 2/3 into the series, she got hers. Anyway, again, I don't see her in many movies, but she's in this movie too. So the premise of the movie is Vince Vaughn's grandmother just passed away and was a big influence in his life, cooking Italian meals and Italian food, and all these memories of her is through the food and all that. And so he's kind of in a moment in his life where he's looking to decide and he gets a little bit of money to from the inheritance. And so he decides he's going to open a restaurant there. And this is based off a true story, the movie. And he opens up a restaurant there in New York City. And the premise of the restaurant is, rather than hire the chefs and the staff and the whole, like go to a restaurant, he's basically going to hire a bunch of grandmas, a bunch of nanas. And so he hires a bunch of nanas to run the restaurant. And, of course, the nanas are Susan Sarandon, Taya Shire, Lorraine Bracco, and there's another lady that I can't remember who's in there, too, her name. But anyway, so the whole premise of the movie is the struggle of getting this restaurant going, getting all the grandmas on the same page to teach the recipes. And, then, of course, Italian grandmas, they're all like, my sauce is better than your sauce kind of situation, or gravy in this case. And so it's all that. But it's actually a very good movie. And very cute, and of course has a happy ending because you got to, right? Mm-hmm. And then, but the part I liked the most about it was the movie was based off a true story, loosely, obviously, because I'm sure some of the stories and things are dramatizations. But they show a bunch of pictures of the actual restaurant in New York City and the nanas and all that, the real
Mm-hmm.
ones, and it was cool to see. And it's kind of funny how one of them's I'm guessing only 4 feet tall, so everything she's doing, she's got the big step stool on it while she's dumping water in these big vats and all that. So it's a cool movie. I highly recommend it.
Is this like Grandma's Boy, but for a cleaned up generation?
Well, it's not. It's not dirty like Grandma's Boy. It's very. It's not. Yeah, it doesn't have the adult humor.
But in that they take some of the stars of yesterday and they kind of give them a spotlight for today.
Yeah,
that's
it's
sort of what I
like. You have your Doris Roberts and your
loose connected tissue like
Shirley Jones and all them. Yeah.
I gotta. Okay, speaking.
But it's a cute movie. It's on Netflix, and if you got 2 hours to kill, it's a good movie.
It's one I definitely kind of want to check out. I'm gonna look that up this weekend. I gotta say, I have done plenty of dogging on it. I've done plenty of ripping on it. But I did watch the Minecraft movie.
Okay.
So, if you're a loud and ruckus kid, like not paying attention to the story or the plot, it could be argued, yes, this is just a throwaway garbage movie, just your chance to get in the chicken jockey and all the other stupid lines. But
by the way, chicken jockey's turning into Rick rolling.
Oh yeah, it's
I got chicken jockeyed the other day.
Did you really?
Well, it was like this. What is this thing? And I was like chicken. I was like, oh, man,
chicken jockey. It has some pretty funny moments.
Okay.
There's moments where you're like, you pause and you're like, that's pretty funny.
Is it a lot of Jack Black running around doing Jack Black?
It is. There's a moment where Jack Black rides Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Like flies him.
Okay.
And the face that he makes is very much like the Yeti scene from Tenacious D.
Right.
Yeti is my papa. He's got that face. So there's moments where if you're a parent watching it, like the whole thing where he has to climb over Jason Momoa and they're like, At one point, they're basically his Nethers and Jack Black's. It's funny. It's got its moments. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm still not going to watch it anytime.
Find a kid and then go watch it.
There you go. You listen to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. I'm not sure where my news is. I'm sorry. I was going to the news, and we're not getting news, so I don't know what's going on there. So, tell you what, I'll I'll do a Pecos Valley news update and Hannity update and all that. About the time we get back, we'll see. I don't know why I don't have news or anything coming in. So, we'll be back after the other side of local news. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Sorello. Some big changes to the summer meal program in Roswell and other communities. The grab-and-go style is going away, and kids will have to eat any meals served on site. RISD Superintendent Brian Luck told the school board this week the new guidelines no longer allow breakfasts and lunches to be served together or served in a way that allows the students to eat elsewhere. The new rules also require sites to set up tables and chairs to allow the kids to eat their meals on site. The RISD program will begin June 2nd and last through July 22nd. Any child age 1 to 18 is eligible even if they are not a student in the district. Also in Roswell, the city's deputy police chief has announced he will run for Chavez County Sheriff. Michael Taylor has spent the past 25 years with RPD. His entrance into the contest means there will have to be a primary election between him and current Undersheriff Charles Islas. That Republican primary contest will be in June of next year. Incumbent Sheriff Mike Harrington is unable to run again because of term limits. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Country deserves to proudly fly an American flag that was made in America, and that's why Pure Talk is on a mission to give an allegiance flag, the highest quality American flag made in Charleston, South Carolina, to 1,000 veterans in time for these patriotic holidays. Just switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk. Do it this month, and a portion of every sale will go to provide these high-quality flags hand-sewn to the deserving vets. Now, with plans starting at just $25 a month for unlimited talk and text and plenty of data, you can enjoy America's most dependable 5G network, all while cutting your cell phone bill in half. Average family saves over $1,000 a year. You just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now. Pure Talk's customer service will make the switch. Pound 250, keyword save now, support our veterans, and switch to America's wireless company, Pure Talk.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. We're not done telling you about the accomplishments of local athletes at the State Track and Field Championships. In fact, Javon Aguiar from Hagerman and Alani McGill from Gateway Christian, they had the kind of performances that put you in the running for a top individual scorer in these track meets. They didn't win that, but impressive nonetheless. Javon, a senior for Hagerman, was first in the 2A long jump. And he was first in the 100-meter dash, sticking with his teammates for a second. Felix Chacon, a junior for Hagerman, was second in the discus. And Aiden Donahue from Hagerman, she was third in the girls' discus. Alani McGill from Gateway Christian, second in the 100-meter hurdles. And she was first in the 300-meter hurdles, and she was second in the Class 1A long jump. The sports report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace Inviernos
Of Morning with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Apologize for the inconvenience there. I think we'll be good for the next hour here. They had a computer do some things in our feed at that time and said, and so that's what it did. And they just rebooted it and is back now, I'm told. So
yes.
My apologies. Should be good at the 10 o'clock hour here.
Had a brain freeze.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like eating a Slurpee brain freeze?
Yeah.
What did you consume cold?
A slushy. I'm enjoying with my breakfast a peach slush from our local Sonic.
Nice.
And took one to the dome, I guess.
You went hard in the paint.
Yeah, go hard, or else.
Yeah, it happens.
It's slushy season, man. I'm telling you.
It happens.
Now's the time. I got the pleasure of introducing my son. My daughter's not quite there yet. I'm introducing my son to the wonder that is, the local wonder that is the Snowy the other day.
Boy just had one, huh?
He was delighted.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, how's Rhiannon with the? I feel like she'd like him, but probably only like one flavor.
You have to. That's what it is. You have to find something that she's willing to try,
right?
And she'll have to like it. The problem with Snowy, it's generally a fruit-based flavors. Generally, she doesn't necessarily go for those. So, like her go-to ice cream in general is cookies and cream.
Okay.
I don't think that they do that in Snowy necessarily.
She wouldn't go with like a grape or a cherry?
They do have a birthday kit. I feel like maybe that might be a little too sour for her, at least for the start. But they have a birthday cake and a wedding cake flavor, which I think that she would be absolutely down with.
Okay.
I think she'd enjoy that.
I'm just surprised like a cherry or a grape or a simple fruit flavor would be.
Things that are generally tart, which is ironic because her go-to juice is kiwi strawberry, which is arguably the tartest of the juices. So I
think she just likes saying kiwi strawberry.
Mm-hmm. Well, she says Welch's. Yeah, that's what she says. That's the other problem. Is it
just dump a bunch of that on ice?
It doesn't necessarily always, like a blanket doesn't cover up the whole thing. Like for example, recently at a friend's get together, pizza was ordered, and it was pizza from a place that Rhiannon hasn't had in a while and didn't necessarily have a great experience with one time, essentially. So that was a 20-minute talk off of a cliff of just try it, you'll like it. And,
give it a second chance.
Yeah. So
that worked?
So it eventually, yes. And she ate around a piece, basically, but
it's headway. It's making progress. So
it's like, I'll do it, but under duress. So yeah. So
does she like to cook or anything? Has she ever shown?
So here's the funny thing. They did a like for the final of one of her classes, they did like a life skills thing, and she ended up cooking for like students. Like she was making grilled cheeses, and she tossed.
Did she enjoy that?
A salad. She said she enjoyed it. Yeah, and she actually tried the salad that she made.
I was about to say, I'm wondering if she got to make the things.
Mhm.
She would be more apt to explore.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes. However, she has one of those like, heart for service. So she'll make whatever, but she doesn't necessarily have to try it. But I keep telling her though, I'm like, if you're gonna be, if you're gonna make something, you have to taste it along the way.
Sure.
Because you can't.
Absolutely.
You can't just put stuff together and hope it works. You got to make sure it's balanced. You got to make sure it tastes right. So you're going to be tasting it throughout. So it's whittling it down is essentially where we're at.
Sure.
She's more open to things like that now. Are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
I was doing something off here.
She's more open to trying things now than she was before. And I think this summer might be the chance to kind of break down some walls.
Gotcha.
We're gonna go buffet hopping at some point this summer.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. This is the way.
We have to start. We're gonna start at Golden Corral. I figure that's the safe place to
Let's
start.
get the most variety of things in it, and so you could get her with just some simple things. They got chicken fingers, so you'd be all right there.
Exactly.
And there's, I don't know if she's into veggies or corn or anything, but that's pretty simple.
But
Potatoes.
I'd like to make my way over to maybe not a full blown Mexican buffet, but like for example, there's a buffet here in town that does Mexican food and Chinese food at the same time. So maybe that's a combo she'd try. So
good luck with that.
It's taking steps up. Up a very
the one that gets
small
me is the
step
things
ladder.
that you could pretty much throw at any kid, and they're gonna and she's like balks at it.
Yeah,
and just like you haven't lived. You got to try this.
It was interesting seeing her in a piñata situation. When the piñata finally got broken open, all the kids rushed up to get the candy. She looked around and kind of poked at it a bit, and she's like, "No, there's not anything I like.
Nothing worth my time."
She was looking for the Hershey bars, but all the Hershey bars had almonds, and so she was out.
Didn't like nuts. Any kind of nuts?
In general.
That's my wife's same way. Which is, if I want to have sweets in the house, I just get them in peanuts.
It's broken. I love a good. A good nut, a good pecan.
And to be honest,
pistachio.
Every once in a while, I prefer the almond M&Ms to the I'll be like, no, I want almond. I want that more stiffer nut, the harder.
So I think maybe me and almonds. I've had one too many bad experiences with almonds. I don't hate them.
Yeah.
They're just not my go-to. Couple reasons. When I was keto, one of the only milks that I could have was almond milk. And so I got used to the flavor, but I never liked it.
Yeah, I've never been.
The one
I get my milk from a cow.
Well, the one I would do is the unsweetened with vanilla. And that was usually as close to milk as I could find.
Yeah,
but I never liked it.
Yeah, everyone I've had, I'm like, it's too weird.
The other thing that got me, and this is probably more why I don't like almonds, I one time when I was young, not like a kid, but like 14, 15, like a teenager, ate like an entire container of Jordan almonds, which for those who don't know, those aren't candy. Those are almonds with a candy shell.
Yeah.
Those are almonds that are Halloween dressed as candy. They're not.
I refer it to as the old people candies, the Mary Janes, the sugar babies, these ones that no one wants today, but our parents, there were staples in there. They're sweetened. Yeah, I lump that kind of stuff in there with that. And but yeah, you did to that what I didn't drink Mountain Dew for about 20 years of my life because I drank so much as a kid and got sick off of it. And I was probably in my late 30s before I drank another Mountain Dew.
That reminds me, I need to go to our local Little Caesars to see if they have them. But apparently there's a limited edition mango Mountain Dew that's only available at Little Caesars. So I'm going to try to track that down, see if we can taste test it up. Although I doubt they have a zero sugar variety.
Oh, I'm sure they don't.
Yeah, Mountain Dew is...
I'll drink it anyway. Try it. I'm not going to like it. I'm not a huge mango guy.
Oh, really? You don't like mango?
I could take it or leave it.
See, now here's a question I don't think I've ever asked you.
Yeah.
Have you ever really dove into Mexican candy?
Yes and no. I've had some. I've had most of it, no, but I've had a few pieces that were,
palatable.
Yeah.
So you're not generally not a fan.
I just don't consume it. I don't know if I'm a fan or not. I just don't eat it.
But like the flavors of like the tamarind, the chili that they add to it, that kind of that's like the one thing that I don't think if I ever like move to another state, that would hurt me the most because I love Mexican candy. That combination of the mango, the sweet, the spicy, it's the best thing on the planet.
All I know is those red peanut cluster things you get at the checkout are disgusting.
Yeah, those aren't candy. Once again, those are peanuts Halloween dressed as candy.
Oh my gosh, I thought I bought one and
they're dusty because nobody ever buys them.
Well, and I got duped by old people. Like they said, "Oh, they're delicious. Get one." And I said, "All right, I'll try it." And I got it, and I was like, "Why do you hate me?"
Now I will say I will stop at Boston baked beans.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those.
I do like. Now I'm talking about the ones in the white box, like the brand Boston.
Yeah.
Those are good. There's some difference in the candy coating they use. Those are good, but those peanut pasty whatevers, that and the patties. Every checkout has a stack of them. I've never seen one sell. I've never seen a person
I bought
go
one
through.
once and it was disgusting.
So you're the reason they're on somebody's inventory still.
Yeah, they are.
That guy might roll through.
I'm sure there's one person that swears by him and has a whole closet full.
Then they need to buy a case and shut up and realize that there's the thing called the internet and you can get what you want.
I'm just like I'd rather eat dirt.
I can arrange that. Let me call my guy.
my dirt guy. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you update with the weather and all that here in just a bit. We're going to play our interview we had last week with Rocio Ortiz with the Roswell Public Library. She's talking about summer reading program, which gets underway next week for everybody here. So that's we'll give you a little last-minute reminder before they visit us next time. So we'll play that here in just a bit. But before we do any of that, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're hitting the upper 90s with sunny skies today. Overnight, a few clouds and low 60s, and then right around 100 and a little bit breezy and sunny on Saturday. Another hot day coming up on Sunday will be in the upper 90s with sunshine and then a slim chance of a shower or thunderstorm Memorial Day afternoon. We will have sunny skies, a little bit cooler, mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 75 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 19%. Winds currently out of the south at 3 miles per hour. For today and tomorrow and the day after that, probably going to be pretty warm. Mostly sunny today. A high of 99 expected. Southwest winds 5 to 10 this morning. They will shift out of the southwest to 10 to 15 for this afternoon. Mostly clear tonight. Looking at an overnight low of 62 degrees. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. For you Saturday, another hot one, sunny, hot 100 for a high. Northwest winds 5 to 10 in the morning. Out of the south, 10 to 15 for the afternoon. Partly cloudy Saturday night, overnight low of 61 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, mostly sunny, 95 for a high. West winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Monday, Memorial Day, there is a little cooler, 90 for the high, but there's also rain chances, a 20% chance for the afternoon for some showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, that's sunny and 90. And then that sets the table for moisture chances pretty much all week next week. I've got through Thursday, and we got rain chances for all of those days. Tuesday, we're looking at a 20% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms, sunny and 89 otherwise. 40% chance at showers and thunderstorms Wednesday, mostly cloudy and 83. Notice the temps are a little cooler, too. And Thursday, a 30% chance at rain, partly cloudy, 85 for a high there. All right, 9:18, we're going to take a 2-minute break, and then on the other side, we're going to play our interview we had last week with Rocio from the Roswell Public Library talking summer reading program. Don't go away.
Registration is now open for the fall semester at Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Classes will fill up fast, so don't wait. Sign up early to create a schedule that works best for you. New students are encouraged to sign up now. Advisors are ready to help you kickstart your path to academic success. Start today. Visit roswell.enmu.edu or call 575-624-7000. ENMUR. Success starts here.
Success starts here. WENMU Roswell.
Some wounds need expert care to heal properly. At Artesia General Hospital's Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center, we use advanced treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy to help chronic wounds heal faster. If you or a loved one has a wound that won't heal, call 575-736-8235 today and take the first step toward recovery.
Hi, Chef Anthony Noble here with the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher. We love serving you our delicious meals for lunch and dinner. The next time you're in on Monday or Tuesday, bring the family and take advantage of our kids' dinner special. With the purchase of an adult meal, you get a kids' meal for 20% off. That's right. Get the kids fed, save a little money, and enjoy what I got cooking in the kitchen. Come visit us at 801 West Brasher in the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. We have it all. Come taste and see.
Don't forget, you can also find the Valley Cafe on our website at toasttab.com/Valley Cafe. Also on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
The summer of fun is on at Roswell Honda. Now through the end of the month, get scorching savings across the lot on a great selection of vehicles, like a new 2026 Honda Passport as low as 3.99% for 36 months, or a 25 Honda Civic Sedan Hybrid, just 4.99% for 48 months, or lease a 2025 Honda Ridgeline all-wheel drive, just $409 a month for 36 months. Roswell Honda has the deals to take your summer adventure to a whole new level. The summer of fun begins at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
To the morning show, and joining us in studio this morning, all the way from 2 blocks over at the Roswell Public Library, Rosie Ortiz back with us. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. So, how's life? Because your day job is at the children's library. Like you're.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you, as librarians, I think you do everything, but you're spending most of your time helping out in the children's side, running the thing.
The children's side, the teen side. That's my day job.
Good deal. So you're the expert on all things, because this is something, when we talk about the library, and we're going to talk about the upcoming events and things here, but we look at the library, and it's usually older people coming in for various tax forms and things like that, or young kids getting books and things. And I'm always saying, and it's good, keep doing that. But don't forget, teenagers, there's a lot of stuff for teenagers in there. And quite frankly, teenagers are the hardest to please. It's true in every aspect of life.
They're very fickle, so it's hard to pinpoint what the latest, trendiest thing is.
Yeah, and so I guarantee there's going to be books and things in the library that your 16-year-old that fights you on everything is going to find. They may not tell you. I'm not going to say. They may lie to you and be like, whatever. But if they're reading it, they're into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so whatever they read, I'm all for it. So.
Absolutely. So I before we talk about all this stuff that's going on, I do want to remind folks that, hey, even when you get in those years of kids that's a little trickier to manage and raise, the library is still, even though it doesn't feel like it or seem like it, is very much a part of that thing. And I'm telling you, the graphic novels and things that are very much are going to be in a teenager's wheelhouse. And if you can convince them that there's cool things at the library and get them in there, they won't admit it, but they'll like it.
Yeah. And that might be a good starting point, is those manga and graphic novels.
Yeah, something like it.
Yeah.
And that's how you get people to read. I don't care, older, younger, especially kids. Yes, when they're in school, they're going to have to read things.
Yeah.
To get diplomas and degree. That's part of learning. But if that's the only reading they're doing, they're going to hate reading.
Yes. It becomes a chore.
Yeah. So you got to encourage them. Pick things, and that's and how you do that, it's let them read things that interest them.
Yes.
Like, things that excite them. That's how you, there's no other way to get people to hooked on reading is get them materials to read that interest them. That's the only advertisement you need.
Yeah.
Once you find that, they are hooked and locked.
Yeah, they have to know that reading can be just for fun, and it doesn't have to be educational.
Yeah.
It can be just like reading, like watching TV.
Exactly.
But,
Exactly. Or hanging out on I guess our age are more into TV. I think these people are more into phones and YouTube videos. So it's just as entertaining as that.
It's just a longer form of content.
It's more than it's more than 2 minutes of a box opening or something, whatever you're into. But once you treat it like a form of entertainment, like any other thing, other than it's so much more than that. But when you present it from that angle, then it's salesmanship 101.
It is.
A salesman shows you the things that are best about it, and then you lure them in. Then you kind of learn the rest of the story sometimes.
Yeah.
Reading is that once you get them in to show them the things they're interested in, and then down the road, like, okay, I am going to need this for other things. But you know what? When I'm done with that, when I'm looking to unwind, rather than plop on the TV or start searching social media on my phone, I'm going to pick up my book and maybe continue on with my adventures or whatever I'm reading.
And if they're comfortable being on the phone, we do have the Libby app where you can just download the ebook, download the audiobook.
If attention spans are a little bit, then yeah, you can put them on a ebook. And trust me, go to the library for audiobooks, because if you buy them, you're going to have to take a mortgage out. I mean,
they're expensive, yeah.
I love the audibles and these things. I love the concept until I went to go buy a book, and I'm like, holy mackerel.
But just a reminder, Libby does have audio for free.
Exactly. Once you go through the library, it doesn't cost a dime. It's free, and they have the latest titles and all the stuff that people are looking for. You'll find them there, and it's not $30 or whatever they're charging.
No, or more.
Yeah, exactly. And it is free, but it's only free if you have a library card and in good standing on that, which those are free too.
Those are free, yeah.
So if you do not have a card, or if you had a card but it's been since the Clinton administration, since you've used it, then maybe it's time to get a new card.
Yeah, just show up, show us your ID with current address, and that's that easy.
Yeah, and as parents, when I always think that's one of those moments I think every parent should do with their kids is when they get to that age where they're starting wanting like a pocketbook or a wallet. And you say, okay, now's the time, because you need to put something in that pocketbook. You need to put something in that wallet. Let's start with a library card. That's your first real, because at that point, if they've got anything to put in that thing, it's like Captain America's fan club card, or you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like the so-and-so restaurant's discount card, kid's birthday card. Now they've got something that's like mom and dad, like a credit card or something you need to use, and it's a big deal.
I'm going to transition to that kind of goes into our summer reading program,
which is about to kick off here.
It's about to kick off. The registration begins May 27th. That's a Tuesday, right after Memorial Day. But this year, the kids are going to earn what we're calling Roswell bucks.
Okay.
And so if they read 5 books, they'll get 5 Roswell bucks. If they get 5 to 10, they'll get 10 Roswell bucks. And then, I think it's 20 or more, then they get like $30.
Okay.
And with that money, that Roswell bucks money, they'll be able to purchase the prizes that we have.
Okay.
And it'll work kind of the same as like Peter Piper, the more tickets there and the bigger prizes. So it'll be that way. But in addition to reading, they're going to start, getting to know financial literacy.
Okay.
And I mean, and then,
the
they'll
more
have,
you know,
they'll have
the
their
better.
little dollar bills there, their little Roswell buck dollar bills.
So they'll learn
and
a
that'll
little.
be fun, The kids get a kick out of, so they want to be like mom and dad. They can have their
It adds a
their
little more.
library card, and now they'll have their own own cash.
You know what that reminds me of, and this is aging me a little bit, but for fans of the show Wheel of Fortune, now they do cash and you get cash and all that. But back when I was a kid, they had like this merry-go-round of 4 different like prize package rooms, and basically if you won 10 grand or whatever that is on the thing, then right after that round you went to they'd show you this room, and they'd have all these different things. It could be vacuum cleaners, it could be vacations or cars, and depending on how much money you won, you use it to buy the things that you like. And that's how Wheel of Fortune used to do it before they switched to. So this almost the Roswell bucks is obviously you're not spinning wheels and guessing letters, but the reward system's kind of very similar.
So we'll have, if you want to spend your money immediately, you want that $1 prize, they can get it. But, if you want that $40, $50, board game that we have up, you'll save up your money until you can get it.
Well, and it also cross levels. So like the younger kids are going to have certain things they want. Teenagers are going to be more into different things. And now they don't have to worry about, oh man, all I got was a pencil top, where the little kid's like, yeah, you got a pencil top. The older kid's like, I got. Now they pick what they want. And they get, if you want the pencil top, there it is, it's $1. Or if you want something bigger, here it is, you got it. And that's the cool.
Yeah, and then we've got some cool gift cards for like the teens and the adults. If they want to participate, the adults, if they want to participate.
That is, that's something we always say every year is, yes, summer reading program, sure, we're always gearing towards the kids. And many of the day-to-day activities or weekly activities are centered towards kids. But adults are encouraged and invited to participate in the summer reading program as well, too. I know a lot of families do it as a measuring stick to help their own kids. It's like, hey, you're going to sign up mom or dad will sign up with you and we'll do it together.
Yeah.
And the beauty is, too, on some of this is, if it's still the same, is like, so if you have infant or children that are technically below reading age, you as a parent reading those books to those, that counts towards your reading time, too.
Sure, yeah, because it's just
as
on
much as theirs.
It's on the Beanstack app, and you're just, for the adults, it's as easy as just, I'm reading 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Things like that, or however, but.
Yeah, but everything, so using that to kind of read your own kids and stuff, maybe if that's a motivation to, if you're a parent, I don't care how old your kid is. Well, if they're like 30, stop. But I mean, if they're like babies, and infants, you should be reading to them. I don't care if they don't understand words yet. The more you read to them, the more you're setting the table for this child to become a reader. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, and I mean, kids' brains, especially that little, they're sponges, so they're absorbing all of those words, and they're starting to put two and two together.
Yeah.
So it's very beneficial as well as entertaining and a good way to calm your child down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and I'm gonna take a stab that, like, a lot of times you see these kids, these overachiever types, and that are doing. I'm gonna take a stab. A lot of them probably were read to as kids or started or got exposed to reading at a very, very young age.
Yeah.
And when our brain is that young, there's sponges. They absorb everything, and as we get older, that sponge hardens a bit and don't suck up as much stuff.
Yeah. It does.
And so when they're young, it's the same thing with foreign languages. I say this every time the library comes on. They usually do story time in Spanish and English. I don't care what your first tongue is. Bring your kids to both. Expose them to all of that.
Exactly.
As kids, they're going to absorb that. And I don't know a single person that will tell you that having a bilingual ability in this town would not serve you well.
Anywhere. Yeah, absolutely.
Unless your bilingual is like Klingon and stuff, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's
Rocky or something,
but
yeah.
It serves you well. And to be honest, how do you get kids kind of trending in that direction? It legitimately starts by preschool story times and summer reading programs and stuff like that. That's how it's done.
I want to say for the teens, this year, it's simple. All you have to do, read a book, review it.
Okay.
Did you like it? Didn't you like it?
You don't have to
Why?
like the book to read it. It could be a bad review if you didn't like the book.
Like, it's 1 star. I thought the main character sucked because they were whiny.
Yeah.
That's it. We'll submit that. The more you read and submit reviews, it's kind of like, your stuff in the ballot box a little bit. The one who does the most and gets the top prize, which the top prize is a free entrance, a free pass to the Eastern New Mexico State Fair.
Oh, nice.
Second prize is a smartwatch. And then the third prize is any book you like.
Nice.
So.
And I know with like the Eastern Mexico State Fair, they'll have certain days with certain things. If you play your cards right, you could go on one of those days where they do really cheap ride day or something. Now you got him free. You paid next to nothing for riding. You could, whereas it's easy to drop some coin in a fair experience, you could really cut 3/4 of your expenses. Now, turkey legs and all that, you're on your own. But
I mean, the entrance itself,
Yeah, but getting in, and then if you do it on the day where you could literally save a ton of cash just by doing it. So, kids, you want mom and dad, whether you stay later at the fair, well, use this angle. I got a free thing. I don't spend any money. Can I stay an extra 2 hours? Maybe now you got some foundation to make that argument.
There you go. Yeah. And mom and dad, that'll help. That's one less entrance.
Exactly. You're like, all right, it's cheaper. Go ahead, and then you so hope you raise your kid right, and they're out there being responsible. That's the way you do it. But this is, and legitimately, this all from summer reading program. All this stuff. So, and adults, I encourage you to do it. Like with the Roswell Bucks, there's going to be prizes that adults will enjoy too. I'm sure you like free food and gift cards and everything else, just like children do.
Yeah. So the Roswell Bucks are just for the little ones.
Okay.
But I mean, you can help them choose a toy.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe you want that notebook instead of the fifth little unicorn toy that they have.
Or the compromise. Hey, you get that, and I'll buy you this thing over here later. I mean, get that now, and then but the art of the deal.
Exactly. So see, we're teaching them reading, financial literacy, and negotiation.
Is there like a theme for this year? Because I know generally you have a theme for every year for summer. What's this year's theme?
The theme is Color Your World.
Excellent.
So actually for the kids, the little ones, if they complete at least 6 of the 8 weeks, they're in for the final raffle prize, which is it's about this. It's a big box of like different crayons, markers. It's like a big art
it's like
set.
Yeah. If you love to draw and do those kind of things, it's like your chalice of excellence of everything in it that you need.
It's an awesome Crayola,
Every kid
craft
wanted
set.
the big box of crayons with the sharpener in the back.
And
We all
this
dreamed
is,
of that.
yeah, this is a big old, and not just like the 96 crayons. This is, a different type. There's like neon colored
It's like
crayons,
the 2025
markers.
version of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big box. It's like a suitcase of crayons and markers.
Yeah, there's colors you're like, I didn't even heard of that color.
Yeah. I didn't know they make neon crayons. Apparently they do.
Yeah, I feel like technology's allowed that. I'm thinking when we were kids,
it was just the colored wax.
Yeah, but you had like, I'm saying, when I was a kid, the big whatever the 89, I didn't think it got any better than that. I was like, this is the top of the mountain. Why do I need 97? That's just dumb. We need 96.
Exactly.
But anyway, there is cool stuff, and that's what we're trying to say.
Yes.
Your kids are gonna love it. Please sign up for the summer reading program, and the great thing about it, if you sign up the 27th when this thing gets going. That literally gives you more time because generally you go through June and July on the summer reading program.
Yeah.
And so you get basically 2 months to kind of get all your summer reading in and done. And every year there's always that thing where they didn't do anything for a month and a half. And then like the last week out, they're starting reading everything.
Yeah.
If that's your game, God bless you. But I'm saying you don't have to be that hard. It's and the way what counts towards reading, like I said, reading to your kids and all this stuff for adults. All of that counts, and I'm going to take a stab that families are going to be hitting the road for the summer, going on vacations and things, whether it's by plane, by car, by boat, by whatever.
Yeah.
Your kids probably aren't driving, which means they got time to read.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't stress enough, it's free.
It's
Everything
all free.
at the library, all our Thursdays are our performance days. Those are free.
Yeah.
Books are free. If anything, you're going to gain not just knowledge, but they're gonna get prizes, so they're getting paid to read.
And if your kid is apprehensive about reading and all this, that's when you drag them to the library and say, okay, and whatever your kid's into, you love robots, guess what? Here's a whole section about robots.
Yeah.
Or if you're into Barbie, guess what? There's stories with Barbie in it over here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You like monster trucks? We've got books on monster trucks. Absolutely.
And you physically bring them and you get them out and say, this is your section. I know you like this. Look, there's 30 books right here just talking about monster trucks.
Yeah.
That's how you get them to read.
Yeah.
And I guarantee once you show them that, like, oh, and guess what? While you're driving on your road trip and there's no stop touching me going on in the back.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially once they get a little bit older, I've heard a few of them, like, I'm not doing any reading during the summer, because they're like 10.
It's my
11, 12.
downtime.
Yeah. And it's like, then maybe don't tell them you have to read the 10 books.
Right.
Get one book.
Exactly.
Get one book and then,
or hit them with the argument, like, you like to eat things and drink things. You're not stopping this summer because you've had enough during the year.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is you don't have to read the books that your teacher assigned you. Now you read wherever you want to.
Yeah. If you want to read, again, I know a lot of parents don't like the comics or let them read that. If it's just fun, let them read
learning. It's learning. And if it's in the library, it's appropriate.
Yeah.
They're not going to, they're not putting
And if
controversy.
they're in 6th grade and they want to read, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, that's technically for like 4th graders or 5th graders, let them read, Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Age appropriate, sure is. You want to be a parent, be a good judge of that, but sometimes you got to let them push the envelope a little bit. And the good news is, if you're going to let your kid push an envelope, the library is a pretty safe space to do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is, if you want to, because at some point, you got to let your kids have freedom. They got you got to trust in the training you're giving them and let them go out and do it.
Yeah.
And at younger levels, an easy way in a safe environment to do that without worried about them getting wrapped up in something you're nervous about is let them be that person in the library.
Yeah.
Let them soil their oats in the library a little bit. If they want to read something that's a little like,
yeah,
it's okay. Let them. And then when they have questions about it later, have good discussions with them about it and talk about it.
Yeah, that's a good way to have discussions with your kids.
Yeah.
And, obviously we vet all the books. We get well-reviewed books.
Sure.
So.
Well, I mean, it's and we live in a world that if you want to be offended, you're going to be offended.
Sure.
You'll find a way to be offended. I'm sure if you're looking for that, you'll find things in there that I can't believe they, whatever. And but you know what? This is America. And you know what? Sometimes you have to be a little offended so we can have the conversation and
Sure.
understand the angles. And you still may not agree with it at the end of the day, but at least you understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we're getting way off the thing,
Yeah.
but to be honest, this is those early levels to prepare your kid for
Mhm.
when they do become adults and they have to make adult decisions and do adult things and, quite frankly, do things that may be uncomfortable. The more well-read they are, the more that they see
Yeah.
things, the better equipped they are to handle those situations. And it really is as simple as turning your kid loose in the library and say, you've got this whole section right here.
Yeah.
Any book in this section is all yours. Take it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's kind of what we're doing. So the summer reading program is a good tool to get them to do that. So sign up
Yeah.
beginning May 27th.
May 27th.
They can just go to the front desk or the children's desk
To
or
the
both.
children's section.
Okay.
And we'll be having popcorn and snow cones that day, too.
So we'll have like a little kickoff party kind of
Yeah.
thing. Got it.
And then that whole week, we'll also be, at the end of the week, we'll be raffling off 4 movie passes.
Awesome.
So, sign up and you can get a movie pass.
And it's the summer. There's always good movies in the movie theater in
yeah.
the summer. There's always the blockbusters, the
Mhm.
big Marvel movie or
all
the big
I was going to say, all those superhero movies come out in the summer.
yeah, those
so.
the big whatever, the big blockbusters come out. So,
Yeah.
and I know y'all been to movies. You get a free movie pass. That's $20
Mhm.
bucks right there. You know
there
what I
you
mean?
go. Yeah. So, yeah. So this
cool
is
prizes.
Cool prizes
Yeah.
for the kids. Cool, gift card stuff for the teens and the adults.
Yeah.
And then the teens get the bigger prizes
Sure.
of like the
And
smartwatch and stuff.
I know we'll get you in later in the month here to kind of
Mhm.
talk about as we get to close to some of the weekly activities that are going on.
Mhm.
But just to kind of tease a little bit, what are some of the activities that are going to be at the library this summer that are kind of attached to the summer reading program?
So, like I said, every Thursday we have a performer. We're going to kick things off that first Thursday in June with Tall Paul Magic. He is really fun.
I think has he been back?
He was here last year.
I seem to remember talking about
Yeah,
that
and
before.
he
Yeah.
did a great show. I mean, you guys bring him out. He's hilarious.
Kids
and
love him.
Yeah, and then he packed the house. Hopefully, come back.
Sometimes these guys do songs and things that it turns into rock. Like I will never forget several years ago, and I failed to remember the gentleman's name.
Mhm.
And he kind of had a following, and I know he did the library. He used to go around the schools, but he had a song called the Burrito Song.
Oh, no,
And
yeah.
I'm pretty sure these kids are probably high school now, but there's a group of them that I guarantee every one of them can sing that burrito song.
Probably those. Yeah.
Always the
It's
teachers.
like
That's how I get wind of these things.
Yeah,
but
like the peanut butter jelly song. Everyone
yeah.
still knows that song. Yeah.
Yeah, but so this gentleman is very much in that vein. And
Yeah, absolutely. And then after that is Denise Gard.
Okay.
With her dogs, it's a dog show. You
Oh,
know,
cool.
they do
I
dog
love
tricks,
dogs.
things like that. And then it's Megan Casey and her puppets, the Rocky Mountain puppets. So it's think what's the guy with the puppets?
Jim Henson or
No, the
the stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Jeff Dunham.
Dunham. So
Yes.
it's kind of like in that vein, only more kid friendly.
Sure, a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
But kid-friendly
Kid
comedy.
friendly
with puppets.
With puppets, yeah. And then on the last Thursday in June, we have it's Lubbock STEM. They're coming in and they're going to do some sort of like light show or something
cool.
like that. So it's going to be cool. That's for June.
Anytime you make things like light up or loft off or blow up,
Yeah.
kids are gonna love that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then of course we have our Friday matinee.
Oh yeah, the movies.
The
come out.
movies. So come out with free popcorn. We have a really good lineup this year.
Yeah,
so.
it's cool. And think of this as like, the family kind of unwinds the end of the week. Parents get off work there, kids get out of school. And so
Yeah.
how are we going to kick off the weekend? We'll all go to the library, eat some popcorn, and watch a free movie and hang
Yeah.
out. You can, bring your blankets and lay it on the floor
Yeah,
there
we
if you want to.
We try to move around the sofa so it feels more like
like a slumber party type environment.
Thing.
Or,
yeah, and with
sleepover type
popcorn,
deal.
Yeah.
So, and then they I know you did last year. How many years? Is that the first year last year? Or you've been doing it for a few years.
The
now?
matinee.
Yeah.
It's been I think a while. And
Okay.
Since I've been here, it's been a couple of years.
I knew it's been a while, but I was
yeah.
like, I couldn't remember if it started like a year ago or 2 years ago. But
Yeah,
it's
so-
been it's now a Roswell Public Library tradition during the summer. Is bring the family, come in and kick off your weekend with a Friday night or Friday afternoon party, movie party kind of thing.
Yeah, just enjoy one and a good way to start your weekend.
Absolutely. And like you said, and here's the deal. Whether you do it digitally or you like paper, you swing by and get the calendars for the library. They usually come in a 2-month piece of paper if you get the paper.
Yeah.
When so I'm guessing like be May and June or something like that, or
Yeah.
on the
So
thing.
the summer one we will be giving out May 27th.
Okay, so 27th
Mhm.
you'll get that one, and that
Mhm.
way every week, that way you don't have to write these down. We're telling you, it'll
Mhm.
be right there, and then you
Yeah.
can say, oh, okay, and then you can plot and coordinate and get all that.
And we will have a special, with we call it our summer concert series, but it's all the performers, and they'll have a special paper just for that.
I'm telling you, the most of the events, yes, are kid-centric. They're geared toward
Mhm.
kid, but I'm telling you, there's going to be one or two that mom and dad are going to get equally be entertained or invested in.
It's kid-centric, but, I
Yeah.
mean, they're fun.
Yeah.
They're just fun to
Yeah,
watch.
I know every time when you do like the touch a truck type things and stuff,
Yeah.
there's adults equally wanting to see the trucks
Oh,
and all
yeah.
that as much as the kids are. It's not
So-
it's not universal to kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but that's a summer reading program, and so yes, we are targeting kids to make sure we get kids to read and do more of this, but it's really a family activity, and and I'm going to tell you right now, the kids that are going to do the best and achieve the most during the summer reading program are the ones that are going to have the parents that are participating as well and being
Yes.
active, going to the things, being accountable. So they're not reading all the books the last 4 days of the thing.
Yeah.
Say, hey, have you read your book this week, or however you set that
Yeah.
up? Do it. Oh, I haven't, so let's read together.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. Make it hold each other accountable, but hold each other as part of the enjoyment of it too. It's like, hey, we got that thing next week. Don't forget, we're gonna go see that.
So just remember, parents, if you're part of it, read. You also get gift certificates every week.
Oh yeah, you get some swag
there's,
too,
there's
mom
stuff
and dad. Mom and dad won't go empty-handed.
Absolutely, yeah.
But what the real reward will be is your kid is gonna thrive from this stuff. This is what makes all the things that we want in our kids: the critical thinking, the becoming adults, preparing them from adults.
Yeah.
Kids that read and kids that do this stuff, they excel in all of these things. They just well-read kids make well-read humans.
Absolutely.
And that's what you do, or
Yeah.
adults. That's just the nature. And so it's be that if you want to give your kid the tools to do whatever they want to do, the library's got to be a part of that. Let them read. Let them. How do kids acquire interest? They got to do stuff to get interest.
Yeah.
And sometimes it starts by seeing a picture in a book. How many kids want to be astronauts because they saw a picture in a book of the Apollo stuff, or someone going to the moon, or vice versa. They see a book about nursing and say, I want to be that nurse. Here's a book about Florence Nightingale. I want to be a nurse now. You know what I mean? That's kind of the stuff we're talking about.
We had a kid the other day who they were discussing axolotls in class, and they went to the library to get books on axolotls. Those weird looking little fish, salamander looking things.
Well, that's just it. The curiosity, brings you into it. And so when you hit life and you don't know what it is, rather than do it, or maybe start with the Google search, but then let's go to the library and say, hey, let's read some books about those penguins or whatever it is that you found out. That's how the library works. So,
absolutely.
Good deal. But and the summer reading program is a great tool for that. So we're weeks away from that kicking off here. May 27th. As soon as the doors open there on that Friday morning. Is it a Friday morning, the 27th?
No, that's a Tuesday morning.
It's a Tuesday morning.
It's right after Memorial Day.
Oh, perfect. So it'll be right after the Memorial Day weekend. You're going to be, it's a 4-day work week, so that's going to be an arty bonus. Let's kick it off by making part of that day. Bring your family by and sign up for the summer reading program.
And it'll go that whole week.
Now, if you space on the 27th, no big deal. You can sign up. I'm going to tell you, though, if you sign up after June's over, it's going to be really hard for you to do it. So please if you can't sign up on the 27th, that first week or two in June, please get it locked down so you have ample time to complete the program.
Now, if let's say you didn't sign, you can sign up for the duration of the thing, but after you have to do at least 6 of the 8 weeks to qualify for the final prize.
Gotcha. So
if you're
past the 2-week mark, it's really hard to do.
Yeah, but still sign up. If it's June 27th, sign up, and your child can get a weekly prize.
The real prize is not the Roswell bucks. I mean, yes, that's the carrot we dangle, but the real prize is the reading and the stories, and
it is.
And at dinner table at night, when your kid won't shut up about the book you're reading, that's the victory.
Yeah, it is.
That's the win.
That's
the Roswell
the
bucks
long-term goal, but the short-term,
But I get it. You got to use whatever tools in the tool bag to get the fish, the horse to the
water,
to
or
the
whatever.
stream to drink. You got to do that. And so yes, use that as the carrot. But like you said, if you sign up late, Some reading is better than no reading.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
So if you're late to the game, okay, we may not get you the grand prize at the end, but you know what? You're going to get the grand prize that this kid is now probably found an interest that's going to stick with him the rest.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Is there anything else we want to talk about with the library outside of summer reading or anything we just
I mean,
could
all
cover?
our programs stay the same.
Yes. Get the calendar.
Yes, get the calendar. We will put a pause on the story times. The last weeks
Those are more of a
May.
school year type program.
It is.
Generally.
We
Yeah.
have them throughout, but in order to prepare for this, we do put a pause on it at the end of May and the first week of June, and
Well,
then they'll start up again. So
To be
it's-
honest, there'll be a lot of story times just in other forms.
Yeah.
Through the summer reading program.
Yeah.
It just won't be a formal today's summer reading. You know, you're getting the same thing just in a different package.
Exactly. Other than that, I mean, like I said, we still have our STEAM first and third of Saturday of the month. Our cooking club on second Saturday of the month.
Yeah.
Which
the
you've
planters.
missed it, but you know, on Saturday, May 10th, we had chocolate.
Ah.
On June, we will be decorating cupcakes. We're gonna be learning how to mix colors. Because
Okay.
it's Color Your World.
Yeah.
So we've got that going
All
on.
themed to the summer reading.
Yes, exactly.
Theme of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then second Saturdays at the Roswell Museum or at the library because their building is still
If you want,
not,
the love and all the cool stuff at the Roswell Museum and Art Center, second Saturdays on at the library.
Yeah.
And this will be for the foreseeable future and until they can go back home.
Yeah. For now, we love having them there.
Well, and it's really cool because a lot of what they're doing and what you're doing are the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, theirs is art and yours is books, but it's one and the same.
But
and,
with Color Your World, it's a nice blend.
well, and they go. You want to read more about art? Guess what? We got you covered. You want to practice the art? They got you covered.
Exactly.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of deal. So yes, please, Roswell. And you can always if you don't have time to go down and pick up a calendar at the library, if you go to the city's website, roswell-nm.gov, there is a library tab there.
Yeah.
And that'll take you to the library's portion, and you'll find that calendar. Also, that's your world to the audiobooks and all the things we were talking about. If you need tutoring for your children, there's things online on the website that can help you navigate that. And one other thing I did want to ask, since we are getting close to summer, is people are going to be traveling and things. While you're picking up your books from your summer reading program, if you're going to go to other parts of the state, also ask about the New Mexico Department of Tourism pass that you get. And this one pass that you get is good for 6 people. And you check it out like a book, but you can't renew it or anything. And you have to do it. You check it out. You get it for 7 days. And 7 days you bring it back. So you might want to, when you do check it out, right before you're going on your trip or whatever it is. And there's 15 or 20 different locations around the state.
Throughout the state, yeah.
Yeah, that you can get into for free. I know some of them include, if you're going to Lincoln, the Lincoln Courthouse and all that stuff, there's a pass that you don't have to pay a dime to do all that stuff.
And there's a few things in Santa Fe.
Yeah,
and
Albuquerque, I think, I feel like the Nuclear Museum's on there, but I don't.
I know the Space Museum in Alamogordo
is on there. Yes,
yeah.
the one in there, and I know there's some art museums in Albuquerque and Santa Fe that are on there. But in my head, I don't quote me, but I feel like I remember seeing the nuke one on there.
It might be. I know I think the History Museum in Santa Fe is part of it too. So.
Yeah, and I think there's some in Cruces too as well. So regardless of what part of the state you're going into, there's probably something on that list that you could get in for free for 6 people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is all through New Mexico Department of Tourism. But like you said, the only plot and planning is it's first come, first serve, and you can't renew it. You have to come in, ask for it. They give you the pass, and then in 7 days you have to bring it back. You can't renew it. You can't go over the phone like you can with the books and say, I'd like to renew it. No, it's got to come back. But the good news is there's plenty of these passes, so I don't think you guys ever run out.
No,
or rarely run
and
out.
if anything, if we do, let's say everyone decides to go out, it would just be like a waiting list.
Yeah.
But we've never had
I would
that
say that's
we
a
have
rarity.
plenty. Yeah.
So don't worry about it. But remind you, if you don't get this 3 or 4 days out from your trip, and then you got to turn it back in the middle of your trip.
Yeah.
Plan accordingly. And now, if your trip's longer than that, then maybe we need to make some arrangements and I don't know, mail it back, or I don't know, but we'll figure that one out.
You can talk to us and then we'll.
Maybe we can make an extension because, like you said,
yeah.
we do have plenty of them. But if that's the circumstance, talk to the librarian, and they'll be happy to work with you on that.
Absolutely. I also want to point out we do have our outdoor backpacks. It's just a nice, beginner's things for like hobbies, like night sky watching, like the constellations, bird watching, things like that, fishing,
Excellent.
So it's okay. You want to go out to Bitter Lakes and, take one out and,
you want to
look
do
at
things
insects,
that aren't.
look at birds, look at rocks.
You want to
things
experience
like
the
that.
world that not necessarily book related, but is. Then come on by and get your accoutrement. Maybe you read a book about it, and then you want to try it, and then you don't have to go and spend $100s on fishing poles.
Yeah,
and all that.
they have beginners books in the backpack of field guides for bird watching and things like that.
So if you want to learn the thing and not,
Absolutely.
Get financially invested.
We have you covered for any and all, hobbies, interests
Absolutely.
at the library.
If you want to broaden your world, the library is a tool that can
Yes.
absolutely help you do that.
It opens up not just your imaginary world, but the actual world, the
Absolutely.
natural world, and things like that.
Exposes you to things that you didn't get to do, and who knows, maybe your next passion is something you learned in a book at the library, or one of these kits at the library.
Absolutely.
Very good. Did we get it all, Rosa?
I believe so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Don't forget, May 27th is the kickoff of the summer reading program. That is the day. They're going to have, food and drinks and a little bit of party here, but that's the first day that you can sign up your families for summer reading program.
Yep.
And it goes on till the end of July.
Yes.
Good deal. Well, thank you, ma'am. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
here next time, if not sooner.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Sorello. Some big changes to the summer meal program in Roswell and other communities. The grab-and-go style is going away, and kids will have to eat any meals served on site. RISD Superintendent Brian Luck told the school board this week the new guidelines no longer allow breakfasts and lunches to be served together or served in a way that allows the students to eat elsewhere. The new rules also require sites to set up tables and chairs to allow the kids to eat their meals on site. The RISD program will begin June 2nd and last through July 22nd. Any child age 1 to 18 is eligible even if they are not a student in the district. Also in Roswell, the city's deputy police chief has announced he will run for Chavez County Sheriff. Michael Taylor has spent the past 25 years with RPD. His entrance into the contest means there will have to be a primary election between him and current undersheriff Charles Islas. That Republican primary contest will be in June of next year. Incumbent Sheriff Mike Harrington is unable to run again because of term limits. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Where's the soul searching for the lies about the Russia hoax? Where's the soul searching about FISA abuse? Where's the soul searching about the valuation of Mar-a-Lago? Where's the soul searching about the double standard in terms of top secret and classified information? There's a lot more soul searching that needs to take place here by the media. But the problem is it's too late. It's over for them. If you want to be successful, and I don't care what platform you're on, I don't care if you're a podcaster, a radio host, a TV host, you better tell your audience the truth and stop lying to them. If you lie to them, the legacy media will never regain people's trust.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Pure Talk, my wireless company, a veteran-owned company, believes every man, every woman who has faithfully served this country deserves to proudly fly an American flag that was made in America. And that's why Pure Talk is on a mission to give an allegiance flag, the highest quality American flag made in Charleston, South Carolina, to 1,000 veterans in time for these patriotic holidays. Just switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk. Do it this month, and a portion of every sale will go to provide these high-quality flags hand-sewn to the deserving vets. Now, with plans starting at just $25 a month for unlimited talk and text and plenty of data, you can enjoy America's most dependable 5G network, all while cutting your cell phone bill in half. Average family saves over $1,000 a year. You just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now. Pure Talk's customer service will make the switch. Pound 250, keyword save now, support our veterans, and switch to America's wireless company, Pure Talk.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump's threat of 50% tariffs on European Union goods and a 25% levy on Apple products is sending shivers down Wall Street's spine. Stocks are sharply lower both here at home and in Europe. Oil prices fell and Treasury yields sank as well. Shares of Apple down 3.8% pre-market. Mr. Trump says Apple should move its iPhone production to the United States or else. The German economy, Europe's biggest, grew by 0.4% in the first quarter, thanks to stronger than expected exports and manufacturing. That was double the growth initially expected. American homeowners are boosting spending on home improvement projects. Sales at building materials and garden supply retailers rose 0.8% last month from March, the biggest gain since 2022. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's office says he's shocked by the horrific anti-Semitic shooting that took place in Washington.